Alrighty, welcome back, guys. It's another episode of I don't remember the name of my own show. NOVAtazz's automotive podcast. Episode what episode is this? Episode. Somebody else tell me. It's not telling me. I think it's 25. I think. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I have JA's channel. He's actually, you're getting back into some stuff, aren't you? I mean, now that you're getting to a better place in where you're at.
No, YouTube was.
No, you've been doing a lot of Instagram and TikTok.
Well, yeah, because it's a little bit less complicated and time consuming.
Yeah, quicker content.
Yeah.
I tried. I mean, I do Instagram. Obviously, everybody knows I do Instagram. Oh, I shouldn't say everybody does. But I do Instagram, TikTok. I more go to TikTok more for just to enjoy TikTok, not to produce content on it.
That's the majority of what I do. But like, if we go out and do like shit on the weekends or whatever, and I film it, like pulls in cars and shit, I'll film it and I'll just throw it on there with a song and be done.
Yeah, I think I have like 41 messages from you sitting in my inbox. I don't click on them because I'll run into them on my page anyway. They you know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah,
I just wait for them to pop up and then I watch them. I see we are joined by Pilot. I think Cletus is here. Maybe not. Maybe Robert's Garage is here. Maybe not. Who knows? We got 3 likes already. Let's get some banners going here. Much needed. Don't forget to hit the like button and to share to your friends. The bigger the bigger the chat, the more fun it is.
That is true.
And yeah, that's more of what I'm after, is an enjoyable live stream for everybody. What is this?
Yeah. Oh shit. I don't know why the hell I'm yawning. I took a freaking nap at 1 o'clock.
I don't know. I was up till 4 o'clock last night and got up today at 9. So yeah,
I know that feeling.
I was in the garage till 4 in the morning. That's something I haven't been able to say. I was in my garage till 4 o'clock in the morning last night. Like I said, it's not something I've ever been able to say.
Yeah, because you really haven't had one.
No, I haven't had one. I've had a garage, but it wasn't mine. And so yeah, I could only be in the garage during, acceptable hours. Considering they're old people, they were older people, so that would have meant like 8-9 o'clock at the latest. So,
yeah, old people would tend to get grumpy.
Oh well, and some old people stay up all night. Don't judge. Pilot here, he's old people. Just call him out on that.
Damn, you just called the poor guy old. Damn, he gonna smack that fucking
because he
hair
knows
off
it.
your head.
He's the one that says it all the time.
I know, I'm fucking with you.
The reason he doesn't need gas until September. Well, you can't see the chat.
No, I can't.
He goes. I'm gonna need gas for my car sometime in September. Well, that's only 2 days away. So, not even. Well, yeah, I guess it is 2 days away. Because you got Monday and Tuesday. I will probably need gas in at least one of the vehicles before that.
Mine are both good for right now. I think the truck's at 3/4 tank, and the Mustang I think still at full.
Well, the truck has its gas light on right now. Depends on whether or not I drive it between now and Wednesday. Most likely, I'm going to need to drive it.
What's that?
What?
My truck doesn't have a gas light. Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, mine does.
Well, I've never really let it get that far because my gauge is kind of floaty. So when it starts getting close to a 1/4 tank, I'll fill it.
Yeah, I put it off because I really don't feel like dumping $80 into my tank in a shot.
Oh yeah, mine's 26 gallon. So
yeah, same. It's about 26.
Yeah.
And it eats it in about 3 days if I'm using it constantly.
Damn, really? Yours gets worse gas mileage than mine.
It's about 17.
Are you sure?
Yep. It's just I travel a lot further.
That is true.
It's an hour to work one way.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And when you're cruising at about 70, 75 miles an hour, yeah, it eats a little bit of gas. And it's all hilly here. So it's up and down hills constantly.
I know that feeling.
See, Pilot, it helps if you go somewhere. He says that I didn't need any in August. I said, well, obviously you heard me say what I said.
Oh, why do you think, like, when I'm doing the trucking shit, I'll probably only have to buy gas once or twice a month?
You don't go nowhere?
I probably won't, except whatever the fuck days I'm back.
I don't take the truck in all of the time. Mainly I take it when we're going to go need it, like after work or something. So I'll take it like I took it in Friday because I expected to get out at like 2, and I was gonna load the truck up. I didn't realize that my second shift was gonna call off, and I got stuck there till 10. So it kind of made taking the truck that day pointless. I could have taken the Kia and saved some gas.
Yeah, usually I try to like split it up during the week. But right now I got a bunch of Mustang parts in the bed of the truck, so I'm probably not taking the truck tomorrow.
No.
I'm sticking it in my buddy's basement, but they were out of town today. They, I guess, still haven't got back yet, or they just neglected to call me back. Because I'm gonna sell the majority of it, but I'm keeping some things for my car.
Yeah, I gotta go get some new stuff I gotta get some stuff for the truck. I had a couple screws and stuff get stuck. So I have to replace the trim piece that goes like the rocker trim piece on the truck. I have to replace that. Yeah. I need a new gauge cover, like the dash, not the whole dash, but just the part that goes over top of like the gauges and the dash bezel.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I need like the dash bezel because it was like really the only piece of the dash that was really bad when I got the truck. And the more I take it on and off, it doesn't get any better.
Yeah, plus those Dodge dashes are always known for cracking.
Well, the dash itself has been recapped, so the top part of the dash is like a newer type of plastic. So I don't really have to worry about the top part of the dash cracking.
Yeah, my truck's dash is already cracked. I don't care.
Yeah.
The whole motherfucker just rattles when I'm hitting fucking bumps. Like it
my
moves.
Truck rattles and everything. I mean, I think there's a TikTok out there about something about the fact of, my truck's is mint, and then they're asking like, well, does it rattle and shake down the road? You're like, oh yeah. That's my truck makes all kinds of rattly and banging noises, but
hey, I'm just glad mine don't smell like death no more.
Mine smells pretty good, I think. Maybe.
Well, it smelled like death because I think a fucking mouse died in the fucking dash somewhere.
I was afraid a mouse died in one of my toolboxes, but I'm not sure. Did I ever tell you guys the story of when I moved out of my ex-best friend's house? I've had toolboxes forever, but me and my ex-best friend had a falling out back when I was 2021, somewhere around there. I had moved out of my mom's house, moved in with him and his grandmother. He had it wouldn't be, I guess it's not a mother-in-law suite. I guess it would be a grandson suite, maybe? I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, the whole second floor of the house was another apartment, and he had that whole apartment to himself. So it was like a 2-bedroom, 2 or 3 bedroom, and a kitchen, living room. It was a 3-bedroom plus the living room and kitchen and bathroom and shit, because he had the 1 bedroom as an office like we do here. But anyway, so when I moved out, I had it was like a black shag rug that I used to use for like next to the couch and stuff, because they had a futon at that point because I'm young and broke. And I get out and you don't have to step on a cold floor, you got a nice rug to step on, whatever. He had changed his oil on top of the rug, and they had killed a so my rug was ruined because it has one of those ones that had like the rubber bottom so it doesn't skid. And of course the oil messed that all up. It breaks it down and makes it all gooey. So he killed my rug, and then they had apparently killed a groundhog with like a BB gun or something, or like a 22, some small caliber round, and they had left it in my top box of my toolbox. So yeah,
I'd be smacking the shit out of that motherfucker.
I was pissed. I came to freaking collect my tools, and there's a dead freaking rodent in my freaking toolbox. And my freaking rugs were ruined. My rug was ruined. He destroyed a bunch of stuff.
I would have threw that fucking rodent on his fucking bed.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't in. All my stuff was shoved out in the barn. Like he had emptied all of my stuff and threw it in the barn. So when I came to come get it, that's where it was at.
Yeah, what a bitch.
Oh yeah, you find out how people are throughout life, and that was one of my first lessons of people that you think are friends that aren't.
Yep.
I was his friend as long as I was useful. As soon as I wasn't useful anymore, I was no longer his friend.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Enough of that sad stuff. Let's see. What do we got? Let's see. We'll do our first one. We only have 2 people in here. Well, not two people, but we only have. I don't even know how many people are in here. That was Jeff. What's in the cup? What do you got to drink tonight?
Water.
Hey, nothing wrong with agua. I had a whole crap ton of agua today because I was outside in the heat.
Yeah. Oh, that was like, yeah, it was yesterday. When I got the interior off my buddy, I was literally out in the fucking heat trying to dick with these fucking tarps because I didn't know how long it was going to be in my truck bed. So I was like, all right, well, I'm putting the tarp under the shit, and then I'm putting tarp over the shit.
Oh, great. So the tarp under the shit keeps the water up with it, like a bathtub, and then the tarp over it will get blown over and then leak straight into it. Or it'll bow in the middle, and it'll end up having a hole somewhere in the middle that it just drips down into the first tarp. Sorry, past experiences. I've been there. It sucks.
Like I said, I never tarped shit before. But
the only problem with tarping stuff is, especially in something that's humid, is moisture gets trapped under the tarp. As like moisture rises, it gets trapped under the tarp and builds condensation up inside the tarp. It's why you won't see like none of my Novas and stuff are tarped. Because of the fact that I have all of the drain plugs out of it, and if I were to throw a tarp on it, all it's going to do is cause it to rust underneath the tarp. So, but
yeah.
like my Trans Am, I had a tarp on it because the window was open, and I just didn't want rain getting into the interior.
I just need to say fuck it and say screw it, even though I like the look without the pack cap. Just get a fucking pap cap and be done with it.
Hey, I like a pap cap. If I could find a decent pap cap for the Ram, like one that's already that metallic bronze, I'd put a cap on my truck. Though I kind of like the roll, the tonneau covers. I kind of like them better. Mm-hmm. Because when you do want to carry something big, you just roll it up to the front of the truck. And then like when you are just cruising wherever, you roll it back and you can lock stuff in your bed and stuff.
Yeah, the only bad part is like the shit I got in there now is it almost as tall as the bed, so I don't think the tonneau cover would have worked.
Yeah, maybe not.
So
did you see the picture?
I need a new fucking toolbox or to have somebody fix it because somebody fucking broke it, so now it don't even close all the way. And it decides when it wants to open.
We talk about the toolbox for your truck.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have one of those. I was thinking about getting one, but then I was like, no, I would just end up storing a bunch of shit that's not useful in it. It would just become a collection thing.
Well, mine actually has like useful shit in it. Like I got a couple jugs of coolant or whatever if need be, and
yeah, it keeps it
because mine's a single cab, so I don't have a back seat to stick shit.
Yeah,
I mean I can fit some shit behind the seat, but
I have one of those. My Dodge has that like storage whatever thingy underneath of the back seat. So you like lift up the back seat and there's a bunch of coobies to stick stuff into. So like I can store my ratchet straps and like stuff for like the tow hitch and
yeah,
whatever.
I ain't got none of that.
A couple spare tools that that are extras that go with stuff for the truck. sizes that work on the truck, so that way if I need
No,
something,
I always got fucking tool sets in my vehicles. Like, fuck not having tools.
Well, I get tired of carrying like a whole set of tools. So like I've gotten so many sets of tools in the past that I have spares of a lot of stuff. So if I have a spare, I'll just like and I end up using it a lot for something, I'll just throw it in the vehicle. And then, because I'm not gonna have, I don't want to like 6 of the same freaking wrench in my toolbox. It just takes up space.
Yeah.
But if it's like a size that I use in a vehicle and whatever, then yeah, I could just add it with some of the tools that I keep with that vehicle, so that way I have the stuff I need. Hey Chris, Rockabilly Customs just popped in the chat. Just gotta. You never figured out a laptop, huh?
Who?
You.
I have one, just the camera still don't fucking work.
Oh, well then why don't you use that to watch the chat?
Because I'm too lazy to turn the piece of shit on.
I've finally back to 2 monitors. I do have the other laptop if I want a third one.
No.
I could put a third monitor on the system, but it's gotta be I think a display port. I think you can have 3 display ports and 1 HDMI on this computer.
Well, that's like whenever I get like my own place and shit like that, and I'm at this job for a little while, I do want to get like an actual nice PC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's not like on the high priority of the long list of fucking shit.
Between me and Jess's setups, we could have bought a car.
Yeah.
I could have bought a decent used car for the price of this computer.
Damn, how much you got in it?
Don't want to know.
I'm guessing probably at least a couple grand.
At least a couple grand. And I tried to start out by building a computer for under $1,000.
Didn't work, did it?
Mm-mm. No, because it didn't do what I needed it to do. And then I got all this computer stuff situated, and then we had to move. And then Corona hit. And then we moved again. So I haven't even I built these computers to be able to edit my videos in the way that I want to edit them. And I haven't made any videos. Played some video games.
I feel that.
Me and Big E, we played some big video games, and this thing is not a slouch as a gaming computer.
That's one thing I want is like a PC to like do gaming stuff and stuff.
If you build a PC that's good at editing videos, it'll be a decent, if not really good, gaming PC. A little bit different, like obviously if you're gaming, your CPU doesn't need to be as outrageously whatever. But generally your graphics card will be just as good as something you would get for gaming. It's just normally your CPU is a little bit higher end than you would need for gaming, because gaming isn't really CPU intensive. It's more GPU, which is your graphics card. So Pilot said his wife bought him Yeti can coolers, and they work. Does that mean that she's got cold, or are we talking about beer cans? I'm confused. He's gonna have to clarify that with me. Oh. And this is what happens when I don't live stream regularly, and like, I haven't live streamed regularly, and there's a bunch of new people doing live streams. I mean, I've seen some of the live streams. Robert's Garage has started to do some live streams. And they're really fun. And then there's been a couple other guys that I've seen that are with him that do some good live streams. It's just, it's, I don't know. It's just, I think I've just lost touch with where people are at. I see Jason from Old Car Auto Guy has stopped in. But you didn't tell me it was Ice House. Pilot says Ice House. You forgot. I did not forget. It's been sitting up there. It says what's in the cup right up there, right below me, right there. It says what's in the cup. Nobody piped up. Jason, what you drinking tonight? Been watching Jason. Did you see Jason's poor deer accident? He had Bambi running in the front of old Dale. His square
No,
body
I didn't
Chevy.
see that.
He took out his girl. He's got it fixed already. At least looking good. I don't know how fixed.
Oh, you should have. Last night, my buddy, he had 3 choices. It was either hit a diesel truck, hit a deer, or hit the guardrail.
I'm guessing the deer took the. Well, I don't know. The deer's fucking.
Because his car was like really low, and he would have hit it at the front, so it probably would have went through the windshield.
Yeah, I guess the guardrail would be my next best.
Yeah, he hit the guardrail. It actually pushed the whole right side of his car in.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a lose situation. No matter what he hit, it
Yeah,
was going
pretty
to fuck
much.
his vehicle up.
The sad part was, it was like, I mean, it's not like a desirable car, but it's like the old square body Cavalier.
So the early 90s?
I think so, yeah.
Because I think that the roundy Cavalier started in...
it was late 90s, wasn't it? Late 90s, early 2000s?
94? 95? No, I think 95 was
I don't know, but his is like, I'll send you a picture of it later. But like, literally, both his fucking, like his right wheel is cambered, obviously, from hitting the guardrail.
Yeah.
But it cambered his left wheel, too.
Oh, it just shoved the whole shock towers over, maybe.
I don't know. He hasn't been able to, he's like, I don't even want to look under it right now.
No, it's probably done. I would say that car's done.
And the sad part was it was such a clean car.
It's like my
it was show car quality.
My Escort was like that.
Honestly, like he walked over to me when he got, because he parked where none of us could see it.
Yeah.
And then he walked over and he told me about it. I'm like, oh, you gotta be fucking me. I walked over and I looked. I didn't see it at first, and then I looked. I'm like, oh no. Now I'm depressed.
It's gotta be done. So, Jason from Old Car Auto Guy, he's drinking some Alpine Lager. I've got my well, you're over here. My camera's all screwy because normally my camera has been over here, like forever. Has been over here on my left. My camera is now like dead center, slightly to the right, between the two screens. So
you're screwing yourself up now.
Yeah, my whole setup has changed. I mean, I'm not sure if you saw the picture that I shared in the group. The whole thing has changed. My PC is now on my left. No longer is it on my right. It'll probably change again because I want to switch this around because, like I said, I want the wall behind me, and then I'll hang this up on the wall. Maybe, I don't know. The main thing is to cover this window. Excuse me. Chris is drinking a milkshake. Rockabilly Customs, Chris. Would that be like an old school, like served to you on roller skates milkshake or just a milkshake?
Is there any places that still do that?
Yeah, there are. In fact, actually, well, Sonic doesn't use roller skates anymore, but Sonics are like the modern equivalent of those old style drive up eateries. They just I'm assuming that the roller skates went to the wayside for safety reasons.
Probably.
Rockabilly's
had too many jackasses that couldn't use them.
Rockabilly's milkshakes bring all the boys to the yard. Jay, I'm sure they do. You got to pop your computer open so you can watch so you can join in with the chat. He says it's just a chocolate milkshake. Sure it is.
Hold on, I got a better idea.
Well, we still have a reigning Stuff with Cletus as our stream boss. He's been up there for a while. Let's see if I can find out how long he has been up there. It's a month. He's been up there a month. Granted, a lot of that was because I haven't been on, but yeah. Oh, that's freaking awesome, Chris. He says that there's one Sonic up in Texas. that still has roller skates.
All right, problem solved. I can see the chat now.
Oh, there you go. And
I
you
put
know
it on
what?
the Xbox.
We oh, there you go. That's how you do it. The funny thing is I'm not used to this. There's nobody sitting here and playing with the stream bot the bleh. Nobody's trying to go for points. What are the points, by the way? Oops. That's not. I don't know what I just tapped. What I didn't mean to.
Good job.
Is it running? There it is.
Of course, Chris and Miss Formula's on the top 2.
Well, yeah, and the points this season have been a little crazy because there's been some really big giveaway points, and everybody is doing the gambling. And so if you gamble and you keep at it, you can rack up a lot of points in an episode. Especially when I'm on for like 4 hours. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but I actually changed my TikTok name.
No, I didn't notice.
I changed it to John the Car Guy just because I haven't been doing shit with YouTube anyway, and probably won't.
Yeah.
For a while, so.
Oh no, I'm still NOVAtazz. Yeah, this was actually I was surprised when this came because it looks absolutely epic. Granted, the TV might not do it that much justice, but it
looks good to me.
Oh, it's freaking awesome. It's huge. Like I bought it expecting to hang it up in the garage. The problem is I think it's too big for the garage.
That's what she said.
Unless I like hung it on the ceiling, like on one of the diagonals or whatever. But yeah, it's kind of too big.
Cletus, that's funny.
What do you say?
Hoeing himself out.
Well, hey, you know, I would say come here. More. I would say come here to do that, but we don't normally like. I don't know. I mean, I've seen like Robert's Garage kills it with his live streams. You know, he's always got something going on. Mississippi River flowing backwards today due to the hurt. Oh wow!
Is it really?
Apparently, Mother Nature is shoving it right back up where it came from.
Nice. Mother Nature's giving them the bird.
Yeah. You know, I trust me, it doesn't work. I grew a set of boobs and like a gut, and it didn't get me any more subscribers.
Well, man titties don't count. Or I would have been fucking street speed numbers by now.
What other kind of boobs would Jason's Garage grow? He said grow a set of boobs. Well, the only kind of boobs a guy can grow are man boobs. Yeah. Everything else is artificially implanted. So that's paying.
Where's the part about the titties? I haven't seen that part yet.
Huh?
Did they say it in the comments?
Yeah, Jason's Garage says, I feel like I need to grow a pair of boobs to get more views. Or just hoard yourself on TikTok. That seems to be a good thing to do about that, too.
What about boob heads?
I've heard of cone heads. But the only pair of set of boob heads I've ever seen was that Little Nicky? That one of the demons had like boob heads? Boob for hair or something like that? Or was it just... Yeah, I forget. I think it was.
No, they're trying to call you a boob. That's what they're doing.
Oh, I'm a boob. Maybe.
Oh, jeez.
Mississippi used to flow that way before the new Mandrop quake happened. I didn't know that. I always thought it
I
flew
didn't
out
either.
to sea. Why? I mean, why would it flow up? Chris, yes, Chris said Little Nicky. My chat seems to be a little bit behind because I can see it showing up on the feed going out to YouTube before it. Well, I guess that would make sense, but I see it on my feed to go out to YouTube before I see it in the comments.
Yeah, Cletus, I know what you mean. Last year for 4th of July, I fucking did one in that shitbox Mustang I had.
Yeah.
At the time, and the cocksuckers took it down. I'm like, you fucking assholes.
Yeah.
But yet, there's other people on there that do the burnout ones, and they stay up. I'm like, all right, what the hell are these assholes doing?
Cletus was
Whose
there.
dick are they sucking?
Cletus was there when I put up mine, and it took me 3 or 4 times of religiously throwing it up there before they let it stay. So, I mean, it's not just TikTok; it's everywhere. I mean, you can't do anything.
Well, that's because everybody's so fucking pussy hurt.
Right. I mean, you look at and I brought this up last week. You look at the stuff with OnlyFans. You had TikTok with all kinds of weird stuff. So a lot of the channels that I enjoy watching. One of the channels is called what is it? No Panic Button or something like that. He's like an adult kink related ish. He's like kink and like machine shop, craftsman kind of person, and he has 3 characters that are on his channel. Well, he has a lot of characters, but he has 3 main characters. They're all played by him.
What kind of porn you watching?
Huh?
I said, what the hell kind of porn you watching?
This isn't porn. It's TikTok. But anyway, so
exactly.
I'll send it to you. It's hilarious. But anyway, he has this one character that has a disability that he plays, and people tried to make him to basically shadow ban him or get him banned off of TikTok for that character. It's a character. You know,
like, grow us out of fucking nuts. Quit being fucking offended over everything.
Yeah, I mean, I take care of individuals with intellectual disabilities. I didn't find it offensive. He wasn't sitting there making fun of people with disabilities. He just played a character that had.
Did you notice how it's the ones without the disabilities that are the offended ones?
Yeah.
Not the ones with the disabilities.
I follow a girl on Snapchat and I think Twitter. Her name is Al. And she has, what does she have? She has a syndrome. Her back and everything else. She's pretty contorted. But her big thing is the fact of let's normalize disabilities and make them not a disability. In other words, don't look at me for my disabilities. Look at me for who I am.
Yeah.
You know, I can do everything you can do. Just because I have a disability means I might have a little bit more challenge doing it. But I want to. It's just like I want to enjoy those things too. You know. Well,
that's like. Did you see that one guy on TikTok? Like, he's got no fucking legs, but he works on fucking cars.
Oh yeah. He was in a wheelchair and he had like a hand truck he was using to move tires around and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, we have Jesse who's on here all of the time. He has that blue Bronco. He is he drives those vehicles just like anybody else would. I mean, the thing is yes, you have some things you need to overcome, but that just makes you all the better.
That's anything though,
right? But that just makes you all the better. If you have something you need to overcome, I don't care if you have a disability or not. Whether it's a financial situation, a physical situation, whatever. The fact that you had to overcome that to get to where you are is just that much more reason you deserve respect. You know, because what you had to do wasn't as easy as everyone else just going and doing it. You know? And especially when you end up doing that better than the people that don't have an issue doing it do it. Damn, you just, drinks up to you. You know what I mean?
And I agree with Jason's Garage. He was like, it's always the weird videos that get a lot of views.
It is. Well, I mean, it's
I'm like, yeah.
Look at my YouTube channel. I mean, the stuff that I meant to do and I really took a lot of time to do and all of that, don't do anything. But there's something that I threw up there with just because I had it and I put it together. It like I spent no time on it. I put no effort into it, and boom, there it goes. You know.
Yep.
Even with these live streams, when I put a lot of time and effort into a live stream, it ends to be a dud. When I just come up here and I literally, you know, threw it together last minute, whatever. You know, those ones tend to do better than the ones that I'm trying to. Why is? Did you get rid of it? Somebody else got. No, somebody got it.
Okay. Please just said.
What?
I'm gonna start shaking butt and Daisy Dukes for more subs.
Well, you got those. Remember, you seen those like the trucker stickers with the stripper pole? We'll
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, we'll strip for parts, stuff like that. People are putting them as vinyls and stuff. Oh my god, they're absolutely hilarious. But I mean, that's basically what we're doing here on YouTube. I mean, yeah, we do YouTube for fun. Most of us do. I still do. But you know, on a side note, when you get to the point to where you start getting monetized, it also helps cover some of the parts bills, so that way, you know, the old lady isn't screaming at you for, you know, why you have no money and you're got all these parts out in the garage.
Yeah. I don't have that problem, but
I haven't had it in a while because I haven't had any freaking time. I haven't been able to, well, no, I lie. That Holly system, that was a pretty penny. In fact,
I bet it was.
I'm still paying it off.
How much was it?
I think all said and done, like over 2K.
That's like all the stuff I want to do to the fucking Mustang. It ain't gonna be cheap.
All right, somebody's. I'm guessing it's Cletus, but we got some moderators that are quicker on the draw than I am. Thank you guys, much appreciated. Apparently, I have a photo and okay, whatever. Got one of my S10 that has a hooker on a tow truck on a tow hook saying "support your local." That's funny. I like that. I get to finally. I gotta find a decent toolbox, and then I can start putting all these stickers that I've accumulated on it. I was going to restore the big one that I have, but it's just a top box, and I really want. I want an actual roller box. Like with an actual like a workbench on the top of it. And I was actually scoping out the local. I was at Harbor Freight, Lowe's, and Sears. Not Sears.
Holy fuck! You still got Sears up there?
No. I said Sears because it's got Craftsman stuff in it. But who has the Craftsman? Is it Lowe's that has the Craftsman stuff now?
Lowe's has Craftsman now.
Yeah, but it was Lowe's, Home Depot, and Harbor Freight. I think I even looked at the Tractor Supply, but I don't think they really had anything. They have an air compressor that I think I'm gonna pick up because it's like $700. It's like 11 CFM at I don't know whatever they rate air compressors at, but it's like it's got 11 at 90 psi, which I think will be good enough for using air tools and possibly some light spray painting. But that's my biggest thing is I need something that's going to be big enough for what I want it to do in the future, not necessarily because that's a purchase I don't want to be making more than once.
Well, yeah.
So I just want to be able to buy it, hook it up, put it in the corner, and then run all my lines and everything that I need. And then well, I shouldn't say forget about it because you need to check the oils and stuff like that. You know, you need to maintain them, but you know what I mean. I don't want to have to make that. I want to invest in that and purchase, and then that way I don't have to worry about it later. It was either that or I was thinking about finding an old one, like one out of like an old school factory, or an old like an old shop or something, and doing a light restoration on it, and then using that, because yeah, that's what I figured. Probably I know how much it flows is better than how much it is, because I know like a spray gun only uses like 20 or 30 psi, but it needs a lot of flow. But normally you'll have a higher psi with a higher flowing, a higher capable psi with a higher flowing air compressor. Just like when I went for this internet, yeah, it's 500 download, but it really wasn't the download that we were after. It was the upload speed we were after, which was 50. So, because I didn't want to have issues with doing the live streams and all of that, so we made sure that we got a decent internet. Oh, what are you doing, Jay?
What?
Never mind, I know what you're doing.
What?
Stuff in your face.
Fuck you.
I can hear it. It's okay.
Dick.
I just stuffed my face. Before this live stream. I made salmon. The only problem with my salmon is half of it was cooked right, the other half wasn't cooked enough, and it was a little.
I'm
too
glad I don't
crispy
have
on
to
the
smell your
edges.
breath. It probably smells like rotten fish.
No. If you've ever had salmon isn't a stinky fish. If salmon stinks, then it's no good. You're thinking there's some other fish that are more smelly than salmon. Salmon is a very not smelly fish. Along with like tuna steak shouldn't be smelly. Obviously canned tuna is pretty smelly, but like if you get like a raw tuna steak, it shouldn't be smelly. It should definitely not be smelly. Because that's not what that.
Yeah, I can't stand the smell of fucking tuna.
Like I can't do tuna in a can or anything like that, but definitely, I love a good like big thick piece of tuna. Air compressors are stupid high, so what I'm doing is taking my 2 horsepower 30 gallon and my second 30 gallon with a 4 horsepower and hooking them both together and run into one line. That's not bad, but the problem is I don't have 2 air compressors, and by the time I buy 2 air compressors, I could buy one decent one. Because yeah, people want even stupid prices for smaller air compressors. I mean, I'm looking at $300-400 for like a 20 to 30 gallon air compressor, and I'm looking for a 60 to 80.
Jesus.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're doing auto body stuff, I mean, like if I was just doing like mechanic stuff, like like rebuilding engines or suspension work, stuff like that, you don't really need a whole lot of a high rate of flow. You more want the air pressure, so that way like your impact gun and stuff works really well. But when it comes to things like air sanders and grinders and spray painting, like spray guns, they take a high rate of flow over high pressure.
Yeah.
It's got a new compressor for 68. Well, aren't you just freaking lucky?
Some people get lucky, like my buddy fucking Elliot.
I do. That is in no way
cheap all the time.
Yeah, that is in no way a dig at him, man. Because that's like saying like being jealous of somebody else that gets something better. That's stupid. Because
that's like with my buddy Elliot. I'm not jealous that he finds it all the shit. Next time I need parts, I'm just gonna be like, hey, you find it for me since you're gonna find the shit.
Oh yeah, some people just know how to know how to hunt for that stuff. I don't have the time to
So
sit
that's
there.
like we went up Carlisle for the Ford Nationals this year.
Yeah, you've been up here you've been up here several times, and I've been too busy working.
I was at Carlisle once.
Between you and Matt and everyone else, because like I know that several of them have been up to like Centralia and stuff, and up this way. Like literally, Centralia is now like 5 minutes away from me. The what used to be the graffiti highway.
Well, hey, maybe if I'm ever delivering a load up there.
I don't want you to deliver a load.
Not that type of load.
You can keep that to yourself.
Not that type of load, you dick. Fucking asshole.
Hey, you walked into it.
What?
You walked into it.
Yeah, I just didn't think about that.
Yeah, I have acquired a few, but I don't even think I have them anymore. They were little tiny ones, like 10-gallon ones. But they were junk. They were cheap ones to begin with, and then they were broken cheap ones, which just makes them that much worse.
Yeah.
We could not say that there's a reason why my live stream says not for children.
No, it's true because we're all fucking.
Well, like I said, what do I advertise this show as? It's a bunch of us hanging out in the garage, throwing back whatever drinks we feel like throwing back, whether it's water or soda or alcohol, whatever it is. You know, just shooting the shit. That's what we do. I don't have a direction. I don't have a whatever. We just whatever comes up in the chat, whatever we decide to have a chit chat with up here on the screen. You know, it is what it is.
Oh shit! That reminds me of something.
What?
I don't know if you were in that episode or not when I was doing my live streams.
They are popping up on my Facebook recently.
Huh?
They've been popping up on my Facebook.
Well, you remember fucking Bruno?
Oh my god, when he was basically flat out porn on your live stream.
Yeah.
It's freaking. If a lot of you guys don't know this, but Jonathan used to do Friday night live streams.
I think
it was Friday nights, but
either Friday or Saturday.
He had some pretty big names. I mean, JD Joyride was on them.
Rob Ferretti,
Bruno is also JD's like right hand guy now is Bruno. I mean, he does. I've seen them in a lot of videos of his. Yeah. Rob Ferretti, which if he also was with Jimbo's channel. Who went?
I think I had Jimbo on there once too.
Yeah, I think he did too. He had some pretty big names.
And then I had what was the other guy's name? The guy with that purple Challenger that got arrested or some shit.
Oh,
Family Cruising.
Family Cruising. That was a freaking great channel. He got the raw freaking deal on that one. That sucked.
I wonder what happened to him.
He went laid low. I mean, he didn't have a choice.
Well, yeah, I kind of figured, but I didn't know like if he went to jail.
He went to jail. He went to jail for a year.
Oh shit.
He went to jail for a year, and the reason, if you don't know this, he got in trouble for fooling around on YouTube, on public roads, and I want to say that dealership had something to do with him going down.
Probably because they fucking fucked with his car, and then he was going after them, so they were like, "Oh well, fuck you, we're gonna get you."
Right. And the thing is there's how many other people that do that shit that never get freaking tagged.
Oh yeah.
It was just it was a really coincidental.
The really don't give a shit as long as you're not like
being stupid.
Really being dumb.
And the thing is Family Cruising was never really being stupid on the street. You know, nothing much than any of us normally do. Some couple burnouts and whatever, maybe a few,
pulls or whatever. But
right,
it's
but nothing
when you
crazy.
do the pulls, you don't do it like around a bunch of cars and shit either.
And he wasn't doing like 120 mile an hour pulls either.
Yeah.
Which we've seen some other people do.
Well, that's like when I drove my buddy's WRX last night. I think I only hit 90.
Yeah.
But
Pilot. I think he did try pulling that, but they pulled. They were able to pull some of the backgrounds of his videos to be able to prove where he was at. So, yeah, and that was they wanted him. They were after him because he was the
yeah,
only one that really got nailed with anything, and he probably did the least amount of set out of some of the people that were in that circle.
I feel like honestly, maybe that dealership gave a good contribution to the police department, if you know what I mean.
Oh, probably something or other. But it was the dealership's fault. They didn't clip that freaking fuel line correctly when they did the engine swap.
Yep.
That's exactly what happened. If you watch the latest B is for Build episode where they're doing that GTR 3432 swap, I think it is. They're putting an old school Skyline body on a newer platform. Because they have a body.
Hey, Sean, give me a second. I'll be right back.
All right, see ya. Yeah, it depends on how badly they want to nail you. Should have said, yeah, I already said that. Okay. Oh, Cletus says, got to go on other people's lives. I don't always have the time to go on other people's lives. I have tried to get on. I tried to get on somebody's the other night, but I was coming home from work, and my phone would not connect to the internet whatsoever. I was having so many issues that night. I haven't even had time to do my own lives, honestly. But yeah, I'll try to get on other people's lives. I'm not always everybody's cup of tea. So I get a little. It's kind of why I stick to my own channel. I don't want to offend. I hate to say it. I don't want to offend somebody else's channel. Hey Jesse. We were just chit chatting about you earlier. And yeah. Not that I don't want to go on other people's lives. I guess I'm a little gun shy about it. I can do what I want on my channel, and worse it is, I lose some people. But at least I'm not making a fool of myself on somebody else's. Well, howdy.
Hey, how y'all doing?
I didn't think you were gonna pop up. I thought you were just gonna hang out and chat.
Yeah, I was actually able to get off to hang out.
Hey. And it's another chill night, you're in this freaking chat. Oh boy, we were just talking about how it ended up on the subject of people with disabilities, and we were talking about how sometimes when people have disabilities, not only do they overcome the challenges, but they tend to do a better job than the people that don't have that challenge to overcome. We were talking about the one guy, I think he was on TikTok, where he has no leg from just above the knee. I think it's just above the knee or just below. He has half his legs. And he's an Autobot. He's a mechanic. And I don't think he was like a small mechanic person. I think he was big trucks. He's getting around doing stuff, whatever, just as quick as the people that have legs. And we were talking about how it was cool, and how a disability shouldn't be looked down as something that is something wrong. I mean, yeah, granted, yeah, it's got some challenges and they might need some help here and there, but there's no reason if somebody wants to do something why they can't do something, the same things that people that don't have disabilities. The one person that we were talking about, I follow on Snapchat, and I think she's also on TikTok and Twitter. But she has, I forget what syndrome. She has something, where her spine's all screwed up. And, I think one of her limbs also don't have as much flexibility as some of the other things. But she's like, I want all of the things that everybody else has. I want to be looked at as pretty. I want to be able to wear a swimsuit. I want to be able to go do these things that other people do. And yeah, and she's like, I want this for other people that have disabilities. Stop looking at me for my disabilities and look at me for me. And I think it's awesome.
Right? Yeah, it is. Like my grandfather used to tell me. My grandfather used to tell me when he was in Vietnam, he would go where he was stationed at before he went over there for training. He used to have a buddy. He had no legs, but this dude was badass at drag racing.
Yeah.
He would be beating the guys all the time, and the way he drove is he had linkage that was connected to his kneecaps, and that's how he would actually drive.
Jesse has, I think his is our hand controls, but Jesse's
right. Well, we were talking like this is back.
Oh, we just went for a fall.
Yeah, I got a cat out here. It keeps on bugging me.
I
hang on a second.
I don't know where one of them's right there, and the other one normally is over there. But yeah, they're still getting used to the house, so they're a little wigged out sometimes. Oh, and you're gone. Jeez, I'd look around and now you're gone, and you're back.
Yeah, it completely knocked me offline. Nah, I got a shop kitty now, and it hangs around out here.
Hey, they're awesome, especially when you're like, when you're out in the garage all day and they come over and they come bug you. I love it. We had a cat at the last time I had my cars to work on when I lived on that horse farm. They had a barn cat. We named it Persephone. I think they had a different name for it, but Jess was like, no, we're calling it Persephone. But I have a bunch of pictures on my Instagram with this cat. Every time I was out working on the vehicles, it would come out and bug the crap out of me. Just hang out with me, lay on the ground next to me, whatever. But it was nice to have that. Well, granted, it wasn't a shop buddy because I was out on a gravel driveway, but same thing.
Right.
It's nice to have that.
Yeah, this one we named it Lucy Furry. Because my wife said you're not naming that thing Lucifer. And I was like, what about Lucy Furry? Lucy, and then she's furry, so furry.
Yeah, I see what you did there. I have a shirt that we picked up in Boston, and it's a black cat with like devil wings on it. It's just a silhouette, and it says it's Lucifer.
Jay's back.
Damn it!
Not Lucifer, but Lucifer. And
he's gone.
God damn. I have that effect on people. They just come in and out of my life when they please.
Hey, I don't know if you saw, but I'm going to be live with Destroyer 1320 Tuesday.
No, I didn't see that. I've seen some other things. I have missed so many people's live streams. Like, I've missed like the last 2 or 3 of Jason and Grant's live streams. And they've had some pretty good people on there. And you know me, I love those live streams. I've missed stuff with Cletus's, like the last 2 he's done. I've missed a bunch of Robert's Garages. I've popped into a few of them, but I've missed a lot. I think I've missed more than I've caught. It's just, I've never really been a big like watching live stream person because I have ADHD, and to sit down and watch a live stream, I can't do it.
If you don't notice, I'm constantly twitching or I'm looking at something else that catches my attention because yes, I got ADHD too.
I get bored. Like if I'm sitting here talking on the live stream, it's one thing, but sitting here just watching a live stream, I'll either get stupid busy in the chat and probably drive people nuts because I post so much, or I get bored. And it's not the person that's doing the live stream's fault. It's just I can't sit and just watch something. I don't.
Oh yeah.
I don't do it. Hopefully, what I plan on doing is putting one of those Roku TVs out in the garage. So while I'm out there working and wrenching on stuff, I could have people's live streams up and be able to like reply on my phone, but have it up on the big screen. So
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
hoping that might be a thing.
I'm wanting to get a TV out here, and my wife and I keep going back and forth. She's like, "Well, that's just an excuse for you to be out in the garage longer."
I've been hunting the marketplace for people who say their TV doesn't work and is getting rid of it.
Yep.
If you don't know, the one that I have out in my living room right now, that was gonna get thrown out because it didn't turn on. The light and everything would the little red light would come on and whatever, which means it's getting power, but the screen would never turn on. So the way you can tell if it's just like the LEDs behind the backlight, you take your phone or a flashlight and you go up right up next to the screen. If you can see the picture, then the TV's not broken. You just
the brightness turned down?
No, you have a blown LED. And the problem is it only takes one LED to blow out and it'll wipe out all of them. Because they're like insequential. It's kind of like your Christmas lights when you have one bulb burn out and it takes out that whole string. It's the same way with the LEDs. Yeah. So if one bulb breaks,
because they're all tied in. So once that goes out, that breaks the chain reaction.
Yep, and then you have none. And people will throw out a $800, $900, $1,000 TV
for like $50.
Yeah, I think it cost me like 60 or 70 for the full set of LEDs for that TV. So that's not bad. It was a $700 TV.
Yeah, no.
It was a $700 Sharp Roku.
Yeah.
It was a nice TV, and it's like 58 inches.
Yeah.
It's bigger than anything I've got. Yes, you can also take them apart, but most of the time when you end up taking them apart that far, you really have too much of the power supply and everything else disconnected that it makes it a real pain. And normally you're not going to take something apart that far, because if you're like I said, you just plug it in, and if you can see the screen with a flashlight, then you're good to go, and then you can go spend the money on parts. I know that my thing is I didn't want to have this TV apart sitting around waiting for parts. I wanted to know what was wrong with it. I took the back panel apart and made sure that the boards worked. And once I figured out that the boards worked, I just, I went and bought the parts that I pretty sure I needed. And then when I took it apart and put it back together, it worked. So.
Right. Yeah, I need to start doing that then, because there's people all the time getting rid of TVs. Heck, I seen some not too long ago that was free. Just come get them because they don't work.
All right, I just broke my. I bought a head unit for the truck because the one that was in the truck didn't work right. I didn't like it. Like all the buttons didn't have any of the writing left on them. So I couldn't tell what I was doing, and it was the head unit that was in the truck when I bought it. Granted, it's an Alpine head unit, but it's an Alpine head unit from probably 10, 12 years ago.
Right.
And only one speaker in the truck worked. It was the back right speaker. It was the only one that worked in the whole truck. And so I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to get what I need to get and put a new stereo in this truck. And the process of, putting it in and taking out the head unit to adjust different things and whatever, because it's one of those ones that have the flip up display. And the Dodges have all that stuff that pops out from the front of the dash. And so stuff was getting in the way, whatever. One of my, one of the RC jacks in the back yanked out.
Oh, it just fell out. Yeah.
It didn't fall out. It yanked. It ripped it. So I got to go buy those little tiny, instead of throwing away the head unit, I'm going to go buy one of the little female terminal clips, or pins, and I'm just going to repin it. Because, it's just a generic jack.
Right. The radio that's in the Maverick right now is just one of those duals they came out with, like $20. They don't have a CD player or nothing, but you can connect your phone.
Well, this is the one that I bought is a dual, but because it was the only one there, they didn't have any other head units there that weren't duals, except for like a marine one, like for a boat. Mm-hmm. They had one for like a boat, but obviously that's not going to work.
Well, I know, like for my 6x9s in the back, because what's cool is the Maverick never came out with rear speakers, but they're the cutouts there anyways. So I went and got a pair of competition Kenwoods for the back, and then I cut down to my kick panel. I cut the metal down there and to take the round ones. They're 5-inch round speakers from Kenwood.
Yeah.
So, and then just ran on new wiring in it for the radio, since I'm talking about a car from 1971 and it has the factory wiring in it. Nothing was there.
Yeah,
and through that
like
cheap
my Nova
dual in there. Yep. So threw the dual in there, but once that car comes back, because I got a big list of parts for that car. A lot of it I'm custom making. So like the K-member, the 4-link system, the floor pans, the firewall is going to be scooped back. I'm going to cut this car completely apart, and it's getting custom done. Yep.
Oh, love hate that one there. I mean,
I don't know. The Maverick is special to me. I mean, because if it was just a car that, hey, I was out looking for, I would probably have never picked it up. I'd probably go for something like a Trans Am, or because we were looking at Trans Ams. I was even looking at a 71 Mach 1 Mustang, but they were just too expensive.
Trust me.
But this Maverick, though, is my great grandmother's car. She bought it brand new, and it's been in the family ever since then. I got pictures standing next to it when I was 5. That's just why the car kind of grew on me. And now I'm like, if you style the cars just right, like throw a little cow hood on it, throw a little bigger duck wing spoiler on it, that car can look real badass.
Yeah, there's I think a few nice Mavericks out there. I like the Maverick when they're just the way they are. But that's just me.
If you look at certain year models of the Maverick, the first ones that go in 69.5 to I think 70, to 71. Those are the ones with the little bumpers, and then the government required you to put bigger bumpers and bumper stops on your car. So that's when they started getting those big, ugly bumpers on the front and back of them. Yeah. But what's cool is you can take like a 76 or so Maverick, and you can literally take the whole bumper assembly off and bolt on a 71, like the first generation's skinny bumpers on them. But yeah, so going back to the radio though, I'm going to end up throwing one of those retro sound radios to kind of, because I want to keep the original style radio in the car. I just don't want to deal with the A-track or AM radio.
Yeah, Jason's Garage said, what direction do you want to go with the Maverick? And yes,
the Maverick.
Hold on. I do see the chat. It isn't always a good opportunity, because especially with my ADHD brain, I already have a bad habit of busting into people's middle of conversations. But I try not to interrupt people when they're talking, and if you guys put up something that I can't reply to right away, it's not that I don't see it. Sometimes I don't see it, but I was watching. Go ahead. What direction are you going?
So the Maverick, right now, I just wanted to get the Maverick to just drive it, because right now we only got 2 vehicles. My wife's Dodge Durango, which is the family car, and then that Maverick, and that's it. The other 2 cars don't have motors in them now, because the 240's motor sitting right here. The S10 motor sitting over there.
It's a good place to keep the company.
I know, right? So
mine used to be my end table.
So getting the Maverick just on the road was just, okay, hey, I got a car now that I can drive back and forth from work or wherever I need to go, and then the other car can stay here in case she needs to go somewhere with the kids. So I do have AC and everything in the car. The motor runs just fine. The rear end's howling, which I need to rebuild that. That's probably why the truck's set for about 20 years before I grab the rear end. But once my channel kind of takes off, where I get the 240 and the S10 done, because the S10 looks like it's going to be the next vehicle being pulled in. Mm-hmm. I want to take the Maverick completely apart, throw it in a rotisserie system, so therefore I can cut the floors out. I want to redesign the whole floor system. I want to connect the subframes with subframe connectors and throw a flat floor in there with bead rolled panelings in it. The firewall, I want to scoot it back a little bit, so therefore I can have a nice flat custom looking firewall. The fender welds on the inside, I'm going to cut those and probably tube out the very front of it. give it a little bit stronger frame for it, because if you take the fenders off, you can go over there and bend those frame rails like nothing. They're real thin. Yeah, so I just don't. I want to have it where it's kind of caged up front, because I've looked at AGE, their Colt 65 K member they offer for a Mustang will bolt up to a Maverick, but that's just up there where I don't have the kind of money to afford it. We're talking about a $1,300 to $1,500 setup with suspension the front. So what I'm going to do is literally I'm going to make my lower control arms, my K member completely from scratch. Most of my 4-link system in the back is going to be scratched. The seats that you see in it are going to be the seats that are going to stay in it. But the color for the car is, if you can see inside the car, like around the door jambs and all, you'll see some of the color, but it's grabber blue. So we're going to paint the car completely grabber blue, but I'm going to throw kind of a grabber stripe down it. I'm going to go off the hood, then come down the side fenders, and then go straight back. That's going to be a metal flaked black.
Oh, okay.
So just kind of break up the blue a little bit, but then I'm also going to have at least a 3-inch cowl hood on it, a little bit bigger spoiler.
That day glow, the glow in the dark paint, huh?
The glow in the dark paint's going to be for when I get a 64 Impala.
Yeah.
Because I figured that would look really cool for a lowrider car. But the Maverick's going to have full adjustable coilovers on it all around with SN Mustang parts up front, like power steering, brakes, and etc.
I saw a post somewhere today. It was 2 slammed. I think they were both Impalas. I'm pretty sure they were both Impalas. I think one was a 59 and the other one was like a 62. Just side by side. They were gorgeous, but they were slammed. I mean, literally everything was on the ground. You weren't seeing any of those cars.
I can go pick up a 62 Impala 4-door for $600, but the 64, I just want the 64 a lot more, just because the general shape of them, how the back end and everything is.
My buddy, when I was in school, he had a 65 4-door with a 327 and a Power Glide, and it was that dark, like hunter green metallic. Oh, that car was gorgeous, but it was rotted underneath. But the that was the one with the not quite suicide doors, but it didn't have it had like the half post in the middle. Oh my god, it was a gorgeous car. It was huge. It was a tank. But I like those early 60s and late 50s Impalas. They were freaking sweet.
Oh yeah. Yeah, another Chevy that came from the late 50s is the El Camino. The very first El Camino that came out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dear Lord. Have you ever seen one of those? Oh, they're so beautiful. How they have the little side fins on them.
Yep. Like the 59 Impalas do.
Yep. Yeah, there's a gentleman in town next to me. He has I forgot what kind of purple it is, but it's a 59 Impala. And I mean, damn, this car looks extremely clean.
My neighbor up the alley, he just pulled out a blue, what the hell? It was a convertible. It was a, what was it? It was a Mopar. I don't remember what it was. Double headlights in the front. I would say had to have been early 60s. Pretty wide, pretty long.
Cornet?
Might have been a Cornet. But it was nice looking. A nice little chop to it.
Oh, I don't know. I did film this one. I'm thinking about going ahead and releasing it here next couple weeks, because I got videos kind of stacked up. But I was in the junkyard this Saturday or this past Saturday, and I've came across a complete underdash unit that someone,
AC?
yeah, for AC. Someone took the time to take the underdash unit completely apart, wrap the lines up with foil tape, and zip tie all the lines together. So have the condenser, the dryer, the underdash unit itself, the lines. It's all there, and it was just put back in this 50s model Bel Air. And things have probably sitting there for about 20 years, but we plugged it into a battery source, and those fans came on blowing just like they should. Oh, wow. So we picked that up for $50 and went to the junkyard and picked up a compressor off of a 350 Chevy, because my grandfather in that 46 that it's over on Instagram, it has a little 305 in it. So we're putting the AC in that thing, but we went and got, like I said, the 350 because they're a lot easier to find. So
they're all the same
got one of those. We just got to get the connectors, and I got a connector here that retrofits the compressor to where it has the top mount threads. So we're just going to go have the ends cut off and new connectors put on the ends of the hoses, so we can just bolt everything up on that 46.
Yeah, I got to replace the whole AC unit on my truck. I just got a big. I thought I'd just throw some new refrigerant in it, and that was why it wasn't working. I was throwing the refrigerant in it, and I'm like, what am I feeling? It feels cold, but it's not supposed to be cold in the engine bay and whatever. And and here the is it the I think it's the evap canister? No, it's the condenser canister, I think.
Yeah, the condenser. Wouldn't that be the? Yeah, that.
It looks like it just looks like a I don't know. It's
like a bottle.
Yeah, it's like this big around and about yay tall.
Yeah.
But the whole bottom of it's gone.
Ooh.
It's all rotted out. It's all gone. There's nothing there. So like it was, I was just dumping refrigerant straight out that hole. And I was like, well, I guess that's not gonna work.
The last time I was up in the OKC, which is Oklahoma City. We went to the Southwest Street Nationals, and that's a humongous car show. That when I was there, it was like 2,000 cars, and that was a year before COVID hit. So that tells you how long it's been. But yesterday, in the middle,
that whole time in the middle, there's. Count, does it? Sorry.
No, you're good. But in the middle of it, they got the vendors. In the vendors, you go to the back, there's a company that's called Gearhead Enterprise, and they have a crap ton of parts, pretty dang cheap, and then they got some parts that are more expensive. Mm-hmm. I picked up a brand new wiring harness for $164. It's a 24 circuit, and then picked up a complete underdash unit for the Maverick, because the idea that I've got is I want to get Southern Cool's heat and AC. They're I think it's called Gen 3, where it's all combined. And it's a little combined compartment. So it's like 19 inches long, 7 inches deep, and I think 9 inches tall. Oh, so it'll fit behind it'll fit right behind the fire or behind the dash, real perfect. And it gives you vents, floor, and defrost. So if I were to buy everything from Southern Cool, it was charging me, I think, $1,200. If I were to buy like how I did this way, I bought everything from Gearhead Enterprise for $300.
Now you just need the main unit.
Yes, I just need the unit itself, and then I can just bolt that together, and they sell the unit by itself for $498.
So you're saving what, $400?
Somewhere around there.
It's not bad. That's
so
not bad.
because they sell Southern Cool sells a branch off their kit that you can either get it specifically made for your vehicle, or you get the universal make.
Yeah, the generic.
Yeah.
Because there's some stuff that, you know, like I have that problem with my Nova. Finding parts for my Nova that are specifically for my Nova are freaking, at least I think it's a little better now because they're becoming a little more popular.
Yep.
But back when I first
same thing
got
with
my
the
Nova,
Maverick.
when I first bought my Nova, you couldn't get parts for it anywhere. If they didn't make it for another car already, like if it didn't fit, if it didn't cross-platform to a different vehicle, they didn't make it. So
Gotcha.
Like, anything.
What year? What year is yours?
Both the shells are 77s.
I think there's a 76 out of the junkyard that looks like it's
everything
perfectly...
from 75 to 79 are within reason about the same. I mean, obviously there's different like grills and tail lights and different little stupid stuff that's different, but for the majority of it, they're pretty much the same.
Yeah, with the Maverick, there was very few parts being made, but now you got a few guys making a bunch of parts for the car. But at the same time, I want my Maverick to look like a Maverick. I kind of want to do this with most of my cars. I want my cars to look like what they should be on the outside, but underneath, I want them to perform completely different.
So, resto mod.
Yeah, a resto mod, definitely.
Yeah, that's what all of mine are. My Nova was strictly all old school, except for the interior. I mean, my sound system, you would have swear there was a concert somewhere if I opened my doors in my trunk. Because when I got the car, there was two 5-inch round earthquakes stuffed up underneath the dash where the center speaker would have went, and there was two 16x9s that weren't hooked up, just in the back, and that was it. There was no head unit, there was no other speakers. That was it. When I did this sound in that car, I had a Kenwood, pretty nice Kenwood for the time. I put two 6.5-inch. No, I lie. I put those 5-inch round ones in the door, because they had directional tweeters in them. So I put the two 5-inch ones in the doors, down in the bottom corner, like towards the front. And then next to both of the rear passenger seats, I had 5x7s, and they ran in series. I think it's series, but they ran joint with the 6x9s that I had thrown in the back. So both of the rear speakers, they were, what were they? They were blue. I'm trying to remember what brand they were. I want to say they were Kenwoods as well. But I had a total of 6 actual speakers, and they all had, like the big 6x9s had the main cone, and then they had the little mid-range speakers in the center.
Yep.
And same with the 5x7s were the same way, and then the front ones were a mid speaker with a tweeter. But then I also had two 8-inch subwoofers in the trunk with a 600 watt amp. And that car, it wasn't like the whole car didn't shake like you hear some people's sound systems where when they got some bass to them, that the whole car just you just hear vibration. You don't actually hear the music.
Yep.
This thing was pretty well balanced. If I opened up both doors and opened up the trunk and parked like with the back of the car towards wherever you were partying at, you didn't need to bring stereo. It was its own mobile, DJ.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it had a plenty of sound. I mean, it was nice. It thumped just enough.
I know with the S10, I already have the boxes for it. They're the square 10-inch ported boxes from Kicker.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at... I really don't know what audio system I'm going with. I do have a 900 watt amp from Kenwood that I'm thinking about running in there, and then they're ordering a couple of square subs from what's that company called? Not QA1, but
Explode.
Nope. I cannot think of the name. But yeah, it's square subs. I'll fit perfectly in there, and I'll have them both back behind the seat. Then the factory spots where the speakers go up on the dash, I'll have Kenwoods in those just because Kenwood is my favorite brand. I've had the best luck with Kenwood.
I really like Kenwood too.
Oh yeah, and I just like the way they look too. They have kind of a carbon kind of look on their speakers. Oh yeah, and like I said, they've lasted the longest out of any other audio system I've had. So,
you want to hear my craziest endeavor when it came to car audio at one point?
What's that?
I had one of those. My ex had one of those roundy Cavaliers. Okay, and I had a set. I had a big box that used to be in my Jeep. It had it had two 12-inch earthquakes in it. The ones where the earthquakes face each other, and there's a piece of plexiglass, so you can see them, and they were ported. But I disassembled that box, and I took the two 12-inch subs, and I made a sub box that fit in the rear fender wells of the Cavalier. So when you close the trunk, you know how that has the little trunk arms? They close down in front of the speaker. The speakers were tucked up in the wheel wells. Yeah. And I had a false floor in that car because it's a family car, so you still need to be able to get to like the spare tire and different other things and be able to put like strollers and stuff in the back. I mean, those Cavaliers have a decent trunk. You don't want to waste it all with just sound system. So I put like a 4-inch false floor in the bottom that was hinged that you could pick it up. And everything for the amps and all the amps and capacitors and all that stuff was mounted to the bottom side of that false floor. So when you picked up the trunk, you picked up that false floor, it all stayed, together, so you didn't have to rip everything out like you see a lot of people do when they have sound systems. Oh, they got a spare on the side of they got to break down on the side of the road, they need a spare, they got to rip their whole stereo out of it just to be able to get to the spare. Well, this flips up, and everything was mounted to the underside of that false floor. So then all you had to do is lift that up and pull the little thing for the spare tire and pull it out.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was in, like I said, 1200 watt amp in that thing with a 32. I forget what they measure that is, but it had a 32,000 cap in it. No, not 32. 500 cap in it. And that thing thumped.
See, my craziest one I ever did was I kind of wish I never sold it, but it was my 99 Miata MX-5, the turboed one.
Yeah.
I made a system, just kind of like what yours said, that was tucked up in the fender back of the trunk. So I had those in there. There were two 10-inch Hyphonics Gladiators in there with a Hyphonics amp. And the amp was about 2,000. The subs were about 1,500, so we had to turn the amp down. I had my buddy hook it in. I didn't know nothing at the time about matching amps and to subs and all that. So we ran everything in there, had a capacitor hooked in there. Then I had you can buy the box that goes right behind your headrest in the Miata, kind of where your headache bar goes. I had speakers hooked in there. I had speakers down in the doors, like they typically are.
Sound for such tiny a car?
Yeah. Oh, I went crazy on this car, and oh my god, I had to put Loctite on the spoiler.
You have the sound system version of the Hellcat Miata.
Yeah. So, oh my god, that thing was so loud. The bass was hitting so hard in that damn thing. It was hilarious. It didn't bounce
across the road.
Dude, like I said, we had to put Loctite in the spoiler, and we had Loctite every damn bolt on the trunk to the spoiler to the tail lights because it was just shaking them loose.
You gotta worry about stopping at the stoplight and the freaking cars start to shimmy over to another lane.
So it was fun, and like I was, I was on Destroyer 1320's last live podcast they did with Mill Creek Fab Shop.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about how fast y'all went, and I told them I went 186 miles an hour in a Miata.
Oof, that had to have been scary. I think the fastest that I've gone is 100 and... No, I lie. I've gone way faster than that. But the first time I was super... It was 160 in an 89 Mustang LX.
How did you not float across the road?
It was a 302 5-speed.
Yep.
Convertible.
Yep.
That thing, and it was a shit box. It was his grandmother's car before he acquired it. And it even had the luggage rack on the back deck lid.
That's awesome.
It was maroon. It was maroon with a white top. But I've gone faster than that now. A friend of mine, in fact, actually, you can see that video on if you go back far enough. I got to ride in the Camaro ZL1 1LE. There was a stretch of road between Cabela's in Hamburg and my house up in Mooresville. And not Mooresville. Where were we at? We were at Brains, the horse farm that I was living at. And that little bit of stretch of road, I would say probably just over a quarter mile, we were doing $170.
Nice.
And that was from I would say from a 20-25 mile an hour pull.
Yep.
He just went up through all the gear, and it was just before you realized it, he was already decelerating. And I looked over it, and I know I caught 170 on that gauge. But yeah,
that night
it went up there quick.
That night that I hit that speed of my Miata, man, that was a fun night. This going to go back also to whenever Jay's channel, he was talking about how his buddy hit a deer.
Yeah.
That's how kind of it all started. We're going out to have this bonfire, me and a bunch of buddies, and they're in front of us, and this deer runs out in front of them, hits that deer, and that deer flies over that car. I got somebody riding with me, and I'm in my car with the top down. We're looking up in the sky, seeing this damn deer. We're like, oh my fucking God, it's going to land right in our car. Nope, floor it, and that deer lands behind the Miata. So the guy that was following us almost hits the deer when it's on the road. He gets, okay, dude, I'm kind of done. I don't want to do this bonfire. I want to go home. So he heads home. And when he gets about a few minutes, he calls us and says, hey, I got a flat tire. I'm in the middle of the road. You're in an all-black car. You got your hazards on? I don't got hazards. It's 1 a.m. Are you serious? Yeah, can y'all get here fast enough? I was like, damn it. So I get the Miata. Oklahoma roads are long, straight roads. That's probably why we're good at drag racing, because they're just straightaways. So the road that I was on, there was straightaway about 5 miles before it turned. So I just said, screw it. I floored it. And the last thing I saw was my speedometer stopped at 160, and my GPS kept climbing to 1. And the last number I saw was 186. And I would say, and yes, I had the top up. The top was not down. And I would say, I don't know how, because I kind of flinch now when I'm driving, but I was just keeping that car as straight as could be in the middle of the road.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the thing is, depending with the lower cars, sometimes it is better to go faster, because if you slow down, then the car ends up the deer ends up in the car.
Yeah. Well,
Whereas the
we're already
bigger
cruising
trucks,
through there. We're cruising through there. I want to say about 60 or 70 miles an hour. So when they hit that deer,
yeah, you took its
and
legs
they
out,
were
it
in
went over the car.
the what?
You took its legs out, it went over the car instead of going through the windshield.
Right. So the vehicle that was in front of me, they were in a Ford Taurus. So it did nothing to that car. It just gave it a little hairy mole looking thing. So
And Biggie was sitting here thinking about how long it was going to take. I noticed his first comment about the 2 ads to get to see here. That's like, again, like just like earlier with Cletus, it's like I just because I I don't always respond to a comment because there's not a good time to freaking interrupt somebody. Sometimes I just also if I start typing, then I won't be paying attention. Like I can't type and listen to somebody all the time
if I do
because
that, I'll be typing what they're saying.
either typing what they're saying or I'll be focused on what I'm saying and I won't be listening to what I'm hearing. It's
Yes.
also why teachers are all about take notes while I couldn't take notes because if I start taking notes, I'm not going to listen to what you're saying, and then I'm not going to be taking I'm going to be getting bits and pieces of what you're saying when my mind isn't focused on writing down what I'm writing. Yeah. So so sometimes I'll comment, sometimes I won't, but normally a lot of the times I'm still reading because I can read and listen at the same time, but I can't type and listen at the same time for some stupid reason.
Right.
But yeah, gotta love ADHD. Love it.
Oh yeah, got to.
It makes so much fun.
I got that. Hell, I've found out that I'm dyslexic.
A lot of people with ADHD are dyslexic too.
Yeah, and because my wife's the one that caught it, it's like every time I read a number out, she's like, "Why are you saying it backwards?"
Mm-hmm.
So
sometimes I'll type something backwards. A lot of the times, what I'll end up actually doing is I'll have something in my head that I want to say, and then when I go back to go read it, I'll realize that I completely missed words in the sentence. Because even though I thought to type it, my mind was already on the next word by the time I got finished the word before it. Then I just missed the word and start typing the next word. He's selectively dyslexic. I don't know if that's a thing.
Man, my next video that comes out tomorrow, I got 2 guys that popped in and as special guests.
Oh.
So I might say nothing. Y'all just got to go watch and see who popped in.
All right.
They just came in. They just walked in and started headbanging. The video will be up 7:00 tomorrow morning.
We'll see if I catch it or not. I like I said, I haven't had time to do much, And sometimes when I am watching YouTube, it's not automotive stuff because I'm just looking to unwind. I did start to unpack some stuff. I found some of my smaller car stuff, and I still have my snake buddies here. In fact, Cookie just took a bath.
I found out sanding fiberglass isn't fun.
No, it's itchy as fuck.
It is. That's what I've been doing for like 5 hours today.
You know what else is not fun? Dealing with plaster walls.
Yeah.
I did that door last week, and I swear I got that shit in my eye twice. Guess what I have sitting downstairs for the next time I need to tackle that?
A respirator, a mask,
yeah, full on.
Somebody else did
a sealed mask for over my eyes, and an actual respirator. So yeah, I'm not playing with that shit again.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear. Stupid me. I just watched a video on how to repair fiberglass, but I didn't watch a video on how to get ready to do fiberglass. So I just like, okay, how do I actually work with fiberglass? All right, cool, good enough. Get out there and do it.
Yeah, then you realize real quick. Yeah, that's kind of like me with doing that door. I was so focused on just getting the door done, and I was like, I don't want to freaking whatever. And yeah, no, I ended up in the shower twice with my face buried in the freaking shower head. Yeah, no, not fun. I mean, the first one wasn't fun, but then I went and did it the fuck again, like an idiot. And yeah, no, I do be an idiot twice. That's about normal for me. The third time, I normally smarten up.
Hell, there's a lot of times I'm working on these cars and I'm screwing up somehow, and I
look at
gotta
that
go
one.
back and fix it up. That's where I come in and say, "Hey, I'm learning just like the people are watching this."
Oh yeah, no, my videos are not how-tos. They are how I did.
Yep. And also, I've learned this: if the guy says, "Oh, I know how to work on anything," they're lying their ass off.
I can learn how to work on anything.
Right, but you gotta think, out of every single car manufacturer out there, they've all done something different that you don't know how to do yet.
You remember what you were just talking about earlier when you first got on?
Nope.
Your shop cat?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was who was doing the magic with the curtain.
Gotcha.
I'm like, and I was looking, I was watching the screen. I'm like, why is that moving and lifting up over here? Because it was doing this, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, it's. I just have one of those foldy screen things back there. But I'm like, what's going on? And yeah, it's a cat with his tail straight up in the air, just dragging it across the thing. I gotta get this turned around so that way I'm facing the other direction here shortly. I like it this way though, the way I have it now, because you walk in the room and you see both her setup and my setup, is just in a big U. So you walk in and it looks real nice, but you learn real and I like it because my craft table is right here. But I didn't like in the old house, I felt like I had to walk into this kubi to be able to at my desk. So that way the camera was facing the wall. But I realized real quick, there was a reason I did it that way. So I didn't have to set this up. But then what? I might just keep doing this because during the week, I can just come in and use my computer. I don't have to feel like I'm having to crawl into a closet to use my computer.
And my wife found the table for me, so I'm going to be redoing my whole computer area where I do my shirts and edit my videos. Right now, we just got a makeshift table in there, but I'm going to move that out. I'm buying a carbon fiber.
Carbon fiber? Is it liar?
Yep, carbon fiber.
Is it lying?
Yes, it's a big ass sticker on the table.
But I'm out of beer.
But yeah, get that in there. I got a table from the 50s that's in there that has my shirt press on it. That's staying there because that thing just looks badass. So move that table out here, or move the makeshift table that I got out here, so I have something better to stand my phone on. Because right now I got my phone hooked to a little tripod that stands only 3 inches off the ground. That has a chair, my paint gun case, and then my other case that has my electrical in it.
Yeah. This is either going to end up really bad. Actually, I'll just take. I was going to.
And can y'all hear that?
What?
There's people yelling.
No, I can barely hear it. Barely, to me.
My dog's bark. My dog is barking. I might hear people out there yelling. Man, last night was alive here in little town of Dead Rat. There were multiple shots going off, people cussing each other. I heard about people getting stabbed and everything last night. I was like, damn, what's going on?
No idea. Hold on.
My wife, as soon as I get off here, my wife's supposed to come out and take a picture of me for my thumbnail. I'm going to act like I'm going to hit the car with a hammer.
Yeah.
So.
Hold on. Oh shit. Are you dancing? Do you need some dubstep or something? Nope, that didn't work. No. I was trying to be sneaky, but that's not working.
at work, we got all these radios, and you put them together, they get that loud, high-pitched sound. Yeah. So I'll hold 2 radios there, just hurt everybody's ears. They got the radios in their ear.
I was trying to show you my setup that I have going on without moving my main cam, and I was just going to come in on a second camera, but no, it immediately, even though I had the mic muted, it was still doing the echo feedback loop. And what's the feedback? Oh my god. Shut up. I forgot she has it down here in the corner, and I said the magic word and then something after it. But here, let's see. Can I get this out of here without causing a giant ruckus to my setup? There we go. So yeah,
we're flying.
This is my, like, the camera sits, obviously you can see the cord, it sits right up there on a tripod. But yeah, this is
that looks setup. Way much more than what I got.
Yeah, well, this is running a live stream after 3 years, so
I got 1 screen, 1 keyboard, 1 mouse, 1 Cricut printer, and 1 shirt press. And my Cricut is hot pink.
There's still a bunch of stuff packed down there. And there's my snake buddies for the day, because we haven't made them up to the snake room yet.
Yep.
And then you got Jess's whole setup back there. That's not on right now because she's not home. But that's all sorts of RGB rainbow puke goodness. And I can't show you her desktop because it's not YouTube approvable.
Gotcha.
Let's just say there's some not safe for work anime that plays on her desktop.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just see the whole car stuff here.
Now I messed it all up.
So I got the Rat Finks big ass rat head right here. It's a Dodge Super B and a split window Corvette racing. Just a bunch of random cars there, and Route 66 there, and the Devil's Speed Shop over here. Dun, dun, dun. There, that has the devil cruising in the hot rod.
I've seen quite a few cool backdrops from doing these live streams with people, and also seeing, because more and more people are doing the live streams. I mean, like, I've seen people do them out of their garages. Unfortunately, this setup here isn't super easy for me to transport out to the garage.
Right.
I don't know how I would do a live stream out in the garage with the way that I do my live streams. Because
yeah, you got a lot there. What I used as my live to be on here, which I need to get back into doing how I used to, is I got my new phone that I got here, and then I got my old S9 that I got whenever I left Verizon.
Oh, your old S9.
I'll use this.
That's still my current phone.
Right. I need to get back into using that as my podcast one, but then use this phone so I can be on there looking at the comments, because right now, only thing I see is you and me. Right. I don't see nothing else.
Which makes it hard to be able to interact with the
right.
Because that was the same problem that Jonathan had earlier. It's one of the things that, because of if I go live using StreamYard, which is what a lot of people do, the comments show up, you can see them. But because I never go live, like, here, I can show you as I come over here and make you guys go flying again. Okay, so yes, we're on StreamYard here. This is what I see. But I'm only I'm screen grabbing this window right here.
Yep.
And I'm putting it in Streamlabs. So I have the little window right here. I'm copying this window and putting it up in this top corner. so I can have all the other stuff. Like here, I can get rid of this. All right, so now it's bigger. But so this is what gets put out to YouTube. As you can see, I'm actually live on Streamlabs.
Yep.
But I'm not live on StreamYard.
Gotcha.
I'm just using this as a video chat because there's no other video chat that will let me do like I used to use Google's whatever, which was great because I could have multiple people on and whatever, but then they closed it. And Skype and all of those other ones, they don't do a very good job at this.
Yeah.
So I ended up using StreamYard. I could probably go back to, and also like Skype and all them, they would use a lot more bandwidth, and that was back when I had a slower computer and slower internet, which made it. I could probably go back to them now, and it not affect my my live stream. But we ran into so many problems in the beginning of season 2, I think. Or it was the end of season 1. One of the seasons, we ran into a crap ton of problems. Reading up on the chats here since I was busy doing other things. Got a mouse, keyboard. Yeah, so like the other thing is like, they say that I don't notice comments. Like, I used to only have this one screen here. Right? So I had to fit everything on the screen, so the comments were really small, like this.
Yep.
I don't have that problem anymore. You see how big the comments are?
Yep. So just curious, on your screens, are they specifically computer screens, or can you use an actual little TV screen?
TV. This is an actual computer screen, and so is this one. This is a 29-inch ultra wide, and as you can see, it is the same. It is the same width, as this 27-inch. Same width.
So you can't use something like a new smart TV,
yeah, you can.
Or something like that?
You can.
Oh.
But most computers now run display ports. Like if I were to come up here and ignore my pile of laundry if you accidentally see it. We are still moving. You can't see shit.
Nope. I see lights.
Well, I need to add light. Okay, so there's this is actually what most people would see as the back of their computer. My motherboard sits funny in this case. So that way I can do all my stuff is up here where I can reach it instead of behind my computer. But there's my graphics card right there. There. Those are display ports. Only one of them is HDMI, which is what your TV would run off of.
Right.
Most modern graphics card runs on display ports now, not HDMI, which is a different plug.
Yeah.
So, like, this monitor here, I can run DisplayPort or HDMI. This one is only HDMI.
Okay, I gotcha.
So if I were to have multiple screens, I'm more likely to be able to do multiple screens using a DisplayPort than an HDMI. And that's all the new graphics cards that I've seen have been more DisplayPorts than HDMI.
All right, that sounds pretty cool. Yeah, maybe I need to start trying to build me a computer.
I'm just gonna show this off because it's freaking awesome. I have it on both screens.
Ooh, nice.
I used to have my logo on my backgrounds, but I wanted something that moved.
Right. So, yeah, Destroyer 1320 made a little. I guess you can say a logo for me. He took my logo that I made and made it into like a what'd you call it? An opening screen for the live chat when we go on Tuesday.
So yeah, if you look.
Nice.
Oh, I like it. gotta watch how much I play with it. You know, the other cool thing is that I can do now that I couldn't do before. Let's see. I want that one up, and I want.
Oh my! That's my filter system that just kicked on.
Oh.
Or my misting system. I got my chameleons on a automatic mister that misses 2 times a day, and it just kicked on.
Oh wait, I've been sitting here BSing, and there happens to be a Miss Cat sitting backstage. She's waving now.
Yeah.
Didn't realize she was there. How long have you been sitting there?
About 5 minutes.
Wow. See, this is ADHD. I was so focused on the other stuff. Now you're on camera twice. Look, you're in 2 spots now.
Wow, fancy.
Fancy like, huh?
Yeah, totally. So actually, this headset's working and everything, right? You can hear me good?
Oh, yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you perfect.
Cool. I finally figured it out. Yeah, cool.
Are you? I'm sorry, dirty mind here, but you seem to be having for lack of better word, a pussy on your head or face. Oh, and there's another one in your lap. Go figure.
I just got back from a massive car show, and I'm like super tired. You can tell I'm probably sunburned. I look like crap, but I don't care. I'm here. Hi.
We're all friends here. I mean, granted, you're on camera. That's a little different, but
yeah. Oh no, I'm just saying.
But guys, I'm sorry. I'm going to get out of here. My wife's messaging me, telling me I need to get in the house.
This has been my live stream since day 1 3 years ago. People come, people go. Now I've gotten fortunate today. I had somebody at the beginning of the live stream. He left. You showed up. You're now leaving, and Cat's here. So we're just revolving that door. This actually makes me feel quite nostalgic. This is how my live stream used to be. I had a first half and a second half crew.
So, all right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here.
Thank you for joining, Chris. I hope
sir.
you have a good week.
Yes, sir. And if you got time, check out the video tomorrow.
I will try.
And see who's the 2 guys that popped in and started headbanging.
All right, I'll try.
So, all right, talk later. Bye.
Yeah.
Well, good evening, Cat. Welcome aboard. Is it a board? Is this actually a board? Like, I'm not on a ship.
I mean, it could be a ship if you really imagine it.
You are a pirate. All right. I need a beer. I do not have a girlfriend home to be able to go get me a beer like I did last week.
Well, that's sad.
And I don't have. I remember like a couple weeks ago I said about setting up a thing so that way if I need to take a break, there's like an intermission screen.
Yeah.
And still don't have one of those. All I've got is I've got this. I know you guys can still hear me, but I've got starting screen. That's it. You can't see it unless you were watching the live stream.
Which I am. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. So I still have not made like a technical difficulties or we need to take a break or potty run or beer run because I'm empty.
Yeah, I just picked up a bottle of water that was sitting here, so it's kind of convenient.
Random water, yeah, that is pretty convenient. I have random half-week-old sweet tea.
That would be wonderful.
That I was out here playing video games and forgot out here, so it's now garbage. I do have very little bit left of fresh green tea. This will be gone in a heartbeat, but.
Well, I'm just looking at the chat, and Jesse just said you need a mini fridge for your bear, not your beer, your bear.
Does nobody remember my little red fridge that Jess got me last year for Christmas?
I remember. I saw it.
It unfortunately is still sitting at the old house, and also unfortunately, it's not big enough to actually fit a bottle of beer. It'll fit canned beer. It'll fit canned beer. But I absolutely despised canned beer. I can't stand it. I don't like the taste. Like, I love Yingling. I do not like Yingling in a can. I'm a beer snob.
That's fair.
I'm a beer snob. I am.
Yeah. That is fair.
Though saying that I like Yingling doesn't necessarily make me a beer snob, but I also don't feel like buying the Guinness at the price that it's at either. So
no, I don't. Roll the tanks, go away. I'm not looking at you. Thanks.
But no, I plan on getting a mini fridge for the garage. I was thinking about putting a mini fridge in here, but anywhere that I would have put a mini fridge, unless I put it under the desk, I'd still have to get up off camera to go get it.
There we go. That's fair.
But
that's fair.
You have had an interesting 2 freaking weeks.
Yes, I have.
You have seen some really. I have. Like I said, I guess I don't get noticed as well because I don't really comment in different things. My fault. I'm just not a big commenter. I comment here and there, but I know as a YouTuber and as somebody that's trying to get noticed and get out there, I should be commenting because it's what makes other people see that I'm there.
Yeah.
But I'm horrible at it. I just tend to either look at it and scroll by or look at it and hit the like button. I'm horrible at actually being interactive, and as being a YouTuber, that's really bad, but I can't help it. It's who I am. But I have noticed, and I have watched, you've hung out with Roy. You've had several awesome car shows that you've gotten to go to. And then you have those, like, I have not watched the video. I know you sent it to our group chat, but I was in the middle of freaking moving a whole bunch of stuff when you sent it. Actually, no, you sent that last night. I was working on the truck. That's why I was working on the truck, I think, when you sent that.
Was it the Suburban thing?
No. The lights, your sequential lights. You said that they.
Oh,
you
that
got them
yes,
in, you got them
I did.
going. You said they were a little too fast or whatever.
Yeah.
But I never clicked on the video to watch it because I was in the middle of doing my own thing.
Really? It's only like 22 seconds long.
Like I was looking forward to see, and like even today I was outside. Okay, so I was in the garage till 4 a.m. last night. Which I said earlier in this chat, that's not something I've ever been able to say before. I have never been able to say I've been in my garage till 4 a.m. Have I?
Well, that's kind of cool.
Go ahead.
If it's any consolation, I've been awake since like 5:15 this morning, so that's been fun. Well, because I had to get up that early due to the fact that this massive car show that I just came back from, which there will be a video on it.
Mm-hmm. I'm also really filming car shows because I'd rather enjoy the car show than be there to work.
Well, here's the thing. I wanted to actually film the entire car show, but I couldn't because of copyrighted music in the background.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I've absolutely freaking gotten to the point where I got tired of having really awesome footage that I didn't think that the music got caught in, and then you go back and replay the footage, and the music is there, and so like I hate it. I stopped filming car shows a long time ago. Go ahead. Yeah,
I was gonna say actually, well, this time because it was a massive car, there was over 1,000 cars, so like I didn't get pictures of every single one, nowhere near.
Oh, no, like you'd be there for days.
Actually, no, I could have. Just the problem was
been there for days.
No, I could have actually, if I really tried. Like if I was vigilant and didn't talk to anybody, yeah, I could have. But I was talking to people, and my health was being like, "No, you need to sit down and do stuff." Yeah, fine, whatever. But like there was some really cool stuff. Like I've seen this thing before. There's a guy that has now. It's not race gas that it makes this kind of power, but it's actually a Mercury Marauder that makes 1,500 horsepower. Ooh. It's freaking mental.
Twin turbo.
And there's no.
Twin turbo.
No, this is supercharged. It's a 4-liter Whipple supercharger.
Oof. I'd rather. Yeah. I like superchargers more than. I mean, turbos are cool. They're very good at making horsepower, but from a gets my heart pounding point of view, superchargers are more my thing.
Oh, I love a supercharger. I don't care that they're less practical. I want supercharger. Yes.
I love the freaking when you have a big cam with a supercharged and you just get that really really nasty lope, like those cars that Cletus had from Australia, the Warbird and that other Camaro.
I haven't seen that.
Oh,
but
if you get even if you don't watch Cletus's video, check out you might be able to do a Google search for it, but there's a I think it's a Ford Falcon, and it's got a full wrap on it, but the wrap looks like an old battle torn vehicle, and it's called Warbird, and it's got like a huge methanol powered power plant with a big old supercharger, and all it's built to do is do burnouts.
Yeah, it's amazing what they do in Australia for that stuff. It really is. Like this one, it's kind of funny because you think, oh, now 1500 is on race gas, so when it's set for its street tune, it's 1,000 horsepower to the wheels is what it makes, right? So it's actually pretty. Yeah, it is. There's no cage in this car or anything like that. He just drives it down the street, takes it to shows. It's like, really, you have that car, and like he has raced it. But it's just like, I'm surprised he hasn't been thrown out of tracks, to be honest, because he ran it at a 920.
Right,
bear in mind, this is a full
only run it once.
Yeah, I think that's what happens, right? They run it once and like, no, you can't.
You're not doing it again.
Exactly, and it's a full, like, the interior is like original and mid. It's awesome, actually. So he has that. It's not gutted.
It's almost a sleeper.
Well, actually, you hear a drive, it's not that loud because he's got like stock sort of mufflers on the back, but then he's got electric cutouts on the side. So
I want that for the TA. Because
I
want it to be nice and just like a nice mellow sound for like cruising, like if you're doing a power tour or whatever. But I want to be able to hit that switch and just let that Pontiac engine be loud and noisy and nasty. But yeah, that's gonna take a bit.
Yeah, that's fair. And actually,
I still have to get it here. It's still in Lancaster.
Oh well, go get it.
I can't. I have obligations that I have to do before I can pull that car here.
So you say.
Because I can't park it on the street. It's got to go in the garage, and right now the garages are being used mainly for storing and staging moving. Because we're still moving because we spent more time at work than we have been able to move.
That's fair.
Except for I took a day off today, and I went and worked on my truck because I wanted a radio and a backup camera.
That's fair. And actually, something. Have you? I'm assuming you've heard of them. Have you heard of a Ford RS200?
No. I'm assuming it's probably a smaller car. Normally, probably would have been used for rally racing at some point.
Yes, this was
because I remember an RS. I just don't know an RS200.
The RS200. It was a very small car, mid-engine from Ford of Europe, and they had a Cosworth-tuned motor, and they made just a ton of power, honestly, for this little car that weighed like maybe 1,500.
Rally.
Yep.
Ground B. It's Group B.
Yep, they were part of the Group B rally, and the thing is, one of those was actually at this car show. Wow. And it was just like, oh my god, I felt stupid. I didn't get pictures of it because I wanted to talk to the guy instead, and I can't believe it.
Now it's gone, and you're not gonna unless he brings it again.
Oh no, I will find it. Trust me, I will find that car. Believe me on that, because I want to convince the guy. Can I do a video on it? Yeah. Absolutely. Like I need to get this guy, convince him to let me do a video on his RS200. I don't care, because I got something.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. I don't know. Maybe.
No, he just stopped chatting. Apparently, he probably is in dad mode and is doing things. You know, he's being like. Before, when we had Biggie here, he was by himself in his own apartment, and he had no distractions. He now has a younger kid that's not his, a girlfriend, and a baby that is. So he's got obligations and distractions now.
Fair. Yeah. Oh god, why are people keep messaging me? Like they've been messaging me all day. It's like I've been busy all day. Leave me alone.
I get that too. You guys message me and I don't reply because I'm busy. Because, and doing things I don't want to do.
Yeah, well, this has been stuff I want to do. So
I wish I had stuff that I want to do, but I've just been stuck working and doing things I don't want to do, like moving.
Yeah, and did you see the other thing that happened this morning?
Maybe, I don't know.
I hit 4,000 watch time hours.
No, I didn't see that. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't have any big fanfare balloon thing. I need to get an overlay that's like a big balloons and confetti bursting and all that I can play over top of the screen when something happens that's awesome. I don't have anything. And I can play a cool little freaking thingy if somebody subscribes to the channel or but that's about it.
Yeah, that's fair. Hey,
I've been trying to kick this off the Snapchat, the stream boss, and nobody's taking my bait.
Yeah, I saw that, and I kind of laughed at that. But yeah, I hit that this morning because I looked and I'm like, ooh, I'm at 4,001.7. Yes, sweet. So now I'm just waiting for whatever they send out because I've already been I did a notification thing for them to notify me. So
yeah, you have your stuff set up with AdSense?
I should, yeah.
Go to AdSense.com, make sure all that stuff's set up, make sure that they have your address because they're going to send you out a card that you have to verify and send back so they can verify what your address is. Speaking of, I need to update that with mine. And you need to set up a well, actually, you're not in the United States. I don't know what you would have to set up for taxes if you have to. Here in the United States, we have to set up a form for our taxes now.
I don't think you have to do that here. So,
I don't know if you. I don't know if you have to report your income off of YouTube or not. In the United States, we have to. It's considered income.
I'll have to look into that a little more because I know I told them to notify me when I was eligible.
Yeah, but you may also have to fill out a request to. I don't know how that works. It's been so long.
Yeah, I'll have to.
I was monetized before this whole monetization scare, and then I never got unmonetized because I squeaked by the skin of my teeth, past their subscriber mark that I needed to be by the time that they enacted all of this BS. So I never actually became unmonetized.
Okay.
But I only had 200 some subs when that whole monetization apocalypse started. And they were asking for 1,000 subs in 2.5, 3 months. Otherwise I was going to be unmonetized. And somewhere I just spammed my channel everywhere.
See, that's what I do. That's why I get as much as I do. Because people ask, how'd you do that? Because even when I met Teen Mechanic, he's chatted in the chat, right, a few times.
Yeah, you were over at his, you were over at his place the other day, or he was at your place. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I was over at his place.
Yeah. And then Roy Marco with the freaking that gorgeous Bel Air. Oh no, that's
you mean the Hudson?
It's a Pontiac. It was a Pontiac. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah. He had the Pontiac.
Platform. It's the same platform as the Bel Air.
Yeah, Pontiac Chieftain. Or not Chieftain, sorry. It's a Pontiac Pathfinder 56.
Yeah, it's
a Canadian only. It's got a Chevy engine in it, like a 261. So Canadian Pontiacs are weird that way. But yeah, it was and then because Roy took his Hudson down this time.
That too.
Yeah, that thing is gorgeous. The thing is, I got to drive the Pontiac. I will get to drive the Hudson. The Hudson actually has an AMC engine in it right now. Not the original 308 because it didn't come with it. So, yeah, no, it's a really neat car, and honestly, because he slapped the thing together for the Great Beater Challenge, which that challenge is basically excluding safety items. You have to be under $700 into the car. So
I couldn't do that with any of my cars.
No, I couldn't either.
Not even buying them, because even my Nova was over. It was like $800 when everything was said and done. When I bought.
Well, see, technically, technically, I could actually be slightly over budget on the Lumina that I have, but that's fine. Like,
Nice
and it's interesting
because under 500. For under 700.
Yeah, well, also this is 700 Canadian too, so it's even less than when you do the conversion. That's probably closer to $500 for you.
Yeah, I don't know if I could get a car around here for $500.
Well, I can.
Is it here? Where I'm at?
Yeah. Well, I have a car out front that was less than $500 Canadian, so I've put more than that in it now and gonna flip it, but because that little Lumina that I have out front, just sitting in the driveway, got 2 flat tires.
I've seen rice burners around where I'm at right now that go for stupid, crazy prices.
Well, see, here's the thing: you don't find those deals on Marketplace or Kijiji or anything like that. You find them at the auctions. You go to the auctions, yeah, you'll find the best deals. Like, sometimes stuff will go stupid, but
a lot of the auctions around here are dealer only.
Okay, because like
so you have to have a dealer's license.
Yeah, see, here it's not. Like, that auction is just, you can put anything you want in that auction, doesn't matter, and you can buy vehicles all you want. It's cool. I've bought, this is the second vehicle I've bought. I've bought pallets of just random stuff that I've made money on. So, it's like, I flip it all the time.
Amazon pallets or whatever, but I always think that they're a scam.
They might be. Okay. I'm just looking through this whole monetization. Okay, this is not actually giving me the stuff to do this.
No, yeah. YouTube is not very helpful. It never is and never will be.
Well, this is because I just searched it up on Google really quick, and it's just showing, Google AdSense help. Well, no, I want to set this up. Don't give me the help to set it. Just let me set it up. Like, they're telling me how to do it instead of giving me links to do it. It's like dumb.
Pretty much.
Like, why is this so stupid? I'll have to fiddle with that later, especially when I'm not like.
Jesse said they probably are. I'm not sure what he's referencing that to.
Oh, no running cars.
Hey, Kat, can you do something for me?
What?
Can you gamble? Because nobody has gambled at all today, and I'm feeling left. I'm feeling that my cloud bot might be a little lonely.
I can't believe nobody has gambled. Like,
no, nobody has gambled. Not the whole live
and Jesse
stream.
Failed.
You know what's here? I have the opposite of your awesome congratulations. This is the first month in almost 2 years that I have not hit the $100.
I'm like, I rolled a perfect 100.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
But you know, like you have to have $100 to get a payout. This is the first month in 2 years I have not hit that $100 mark.
Oh, that's sad.
This is because of my work. This is because my work getting in the way of doing like my live streams and stuff. This is why I said like my live streams are actually important because they were keeping my channel.
Oh yeah.
It was keeping it in like the recommended and stuff like that.
Yeah, see, with mine, the thing is, the live streams did help because I realized that, okay, the reason why I started doing them is just like, oh, this gets you watch time hours very quick.
Yep.
And my first live stream, it went for an hour and 15 minutes, I believe. And that one, it got me over 8 hours of watch time.
Well, you got to think about it.
Just a little over an hour.
If it's an hour, let's just make it simple. If it's an hour, and you have 5 people in there that whole hour, that's 5 watch hours.
Right. Well, even the live stream that I did, I think that was yesterday. And I did this live stream in the morning. It was, just about an hour long. That gave me almost 7 hours. Right. It's like,
but
cool.
I mean, the thing is it's like the opposite of these shorts. Everybody goes nuts off of the shorts. Shorts are instant gratification because you see all of the views. The problem is when they're only 30 seconds long.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Like, I do a lot of shorts, but like here's
YouTube doesn't look at views. So they're concerned about watch time, how long somebody stays on your channel, like not necessarily on one video, but how long do they spend on your channel? in a shot. And they look at interactions, so likes, comments, dislikes, subscriptions, people interacting with your channel. And then and that's basically the two things that they're really looking for. And the only thing that shorts do is give you the instant gratification of seeing that many views.
100%. Like what I do with the shorts, because I know this to be a thing, because I've experimented with the shorts, and like some of my shorts go insane. Like I have like over 1,000 views on these without sharing it anywhere. It's kind of cool. But and I should have done the sequentials as a short, because I had the camera the wrong way. I had it sideways, not Yeah. So, and it could have been a short, and it would get way more views than it has, because it's only 22 seconds long. Like, it would have been perfect for a short.
Well, YouTube automatically makes it a short.
Yeah, exactly. And well, actually, no. It has to be a portrait. This is landscape. That's why.
Oh.
It has to be. If it's not filmed portrait, it's not a short.
They can. But normally the people that end up
they have.
A lot of
mine has.
Right. A lot of the people that end up coming to your channel because of shorts, though, may not have the attention for longer videos. And
here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Like, I'm totally okay with that, because my average retention span on my channel is not great anyways. As much as I would like to have it more, it's only average of about 2.5 minutes per video. That's it.
Which is why I'm telling you this now, because you are now at that point where you can be monetized, and now you need to switch gears from looking for that quick content to looking for that engaging that retention time.
Well, to be honest, I do the shorts. I only really did them just because, hey, this is a video that I can do very shortly, and I don't need to do a full video on it.
I know.
That's the only reason why I do it.
But
it was kind of cool to see the views and stuff like that, and it has brought a few people, because somebody actually told me the other day, it's like, yeah, I saw one of your shorts, and now I'm a big fan of your channel. It's like, cool, okay, you're one person, awesome. I like that. Yeah, I like hearing that stuff.
But for every one
right?
person that does comment or whatever, there's like 6 or 7 that didn't.
Oh yeah.
But what I was saying is not just for your channel, because there's a bunch of other of you guys that are getting right at that point where you're going to be able to be monetized. The thing is once you get above that point to where you're monetized and you're looking at maximizing, like your ad revenue, the people that are looking at the like my. You know what CPM is, right? The clicks per whatever, and then how much money you make per how many clicks.
I have heard about that.
YouTube's average is between $2 and $4 in US dollars clicks per million. If you go to what is that site that you go to where you can look up how much people make on YouTube and all their stats and different things? They base their stats. They I think it's Social Blade. That's what it is. They base their stats on the average person getting between $1 and $4 CPM. My CPM is 8.
Damn.
And like, it's not like I'm doing something super crazy. It's making sure that you are giving the people that are paying to have ads in your video that eventually pay you, because it's an auction based platform. So the people that are the ads that show up in your videos, they're not entirely random. Okay. There's companies out there that are bidding to have that slot, and it goes to the 100%. Highest bidder. It goes to the highest bidder. So you're not only looking at pleasing the people that are watching your content, but you also have to make sure that the people that are putting the ads in your video have competition and want to put ads in your video, so that way you get a higher CPM.
Well, and that's why, and it's kind of funny, because people will ask me at times when I'm doing certain videos, like whether I'm doing it on the Civic or on the Mustang, And people will ask me outside of YouTube, it's like, well, why do you do that? You know, why, like, they'll ask, like, why don't you just stick to one thing? That's the reason.
Because you get a broader range of
exactly.
of people, and that's what made you grow so quick. And it's perfectly on. What made you grow so quick is because of the fact that your content is varied, so you're able to reach more ponds with fish in it.
Oh, absolutely.
Your fishing poles aren't just in one pond. You have a fishing pole over here, a fishing pole over there. You're fishing in many ponds at one time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like, and because what I tell people as well, like, because you have to have varied content. You do, like, I contacted, like, there was one guy even at the car show there that I came back from today. There was a massive show. It was awesome. And the thing is, he has a Mitsubishi Pajero Evolution, which, again, another Group B rally type idea. Yeah. Well, actually, not Group B on that one. That was for the Dakar rally, technically. Yeah. Those
Dakar rallies are freaking awesome too, man. It's a brutal race.
It is, and they kicked major butt doing that. And honestly, like, take everything that's good in an Evo, turn it up to 11, and put it in an SUV. That's the Pajero Evolution. Mm-hmm. Like, and it's so cool. So I'll get to have that on my channel at some point. And, like, one other vehicle that I saw at a car meet last week was a 1966 Rover P6. So that'll be on my channel too.
I don't think I've ever seen one of those.
I never saw one in person until that one.
Does it have a tail and wag?
No.
Does it bark or drink out of a bowl?
No.
Is it one of those artificial, like, companions, or what is it?
You've never heard of a Rover?
I'm being stupid.
I figured you were. I am that tired right now where I figured you were, but I figured you were, but at the same time I was like, I just want to make sure that, I don't know, maybe he's never heard of Rover. It's possible. But yeah.
No, it just worked. Because you were that tired, and I didn't know if you were going with it or if you were being serious, and it worked. It was beautiful.
Yeah, no, I literally I've been up for a very long time. I've been in the sun all day. You can see I am sunburnt. Like,
no, the color of your lights is not. It's not showing that off. So your lighting today is doing a good job of hiding your sunburn.
Well, you can kind of see it now.
Maybe,
like, a little bit.
I can change my lighting. Let's see. What color should I be? This is me with no lighting. This is just the ceiling light, which is on.
Yeah, see, I just, because I decided, well, normally you can tell, hey, this is not my usual seat, right? I usually am in my actual chair over there, but I'm in my dad's chair instead. And it's just much more comfortable, and I realized, wait, I don't have to move the lamp. I can just put it here. It's fine. It works.
It actually works. That's a nice spot.
It does.
Clean the end table off a little bit, and the cat's got a nice perch over there with the exercise bike.
Yeah, well, because the window's right here, right? There. So he likes to look out the window all the time, and
I have a window right here in front of me. I'm literally staring at across the street.
Nice. We'll say, and now, I mean, I have my new tripod with this too, which is I love this tripod. It's awesome. It has so much more adjustability than my old one, and also, I mean, well, hell, I can do this without moving it.
Yeah.
I can do. If it'll let me do it.
See, now you can't do it. You've been denied. Oh my God! It's lifts off.
Yeah, like,
please tell me we're not in Rocket X or whatever, SpaceX or whatever. We're in an actual, like, a Challenger or an actual space shuttle, because I don't want to support.
There we go. I love this.
Hey, now we got 2 water bottles and more of the exercise bike. And a doorknob.
Oh. Yeah,
and less of cat.
It moves slightly.
Yeah, less of cat.
Well, I can...
Little more. Little to the... I don't know what direction you were pushing it, but... No, not that way. Little more. Well, no, we're stuck. Oh, there we go. Right there, that's good.
There we go.
Now you're centered again.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect.
Don't get too high, cat.
Why, man? I need to get high, bro.
That was the crappiest freaking Shaggy impression I've ever heard.
I am tired and I can't really do that deep of a voice.
That's fine. I don't care. You're making me smile. That's all I give you.
I mean, I could have did Mr. Mackey, you know? Drugs are bad, guy. That's the only voice I can do, by the way.
It wasn't bad.
It's not. It fools people a lot, and it's so funny because they think, oh, you know, I've got this little voice, and then, but I can do that, and they're just like, wait, what? You know,
It's quite loud.
fun. Yeah.
What time is it? It's
Yeah.
almost midnight.
Yeah. Well, it's only 9:35 here, so it's not that bad.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, my last live stream didn't last very long because, I mean, we were here for longer than I was expecting, but yeah, no, we weren't here very long because there's nothing to interact with, and I'm like, you know, it's one of those things. Like, I mean, I had Pilot here. Pilot was here the whole time. He was a dedicated. Well, he's always a dedicated viewer.
He is, yeah. Absolutely.
I think other than the couple of times that he was unable to attend, I think he has been here ever since he came to us looking for help with his seized up Corvette motor. He found my channel. He found my channel looking for some help with his Corvette motor, and he has been here ever since. He's like, when you walk through the forest and you get that little bristly thing that sticks to your pant legs all the way home, except for much better than that, because he's entertaining.
Actually, I was just gonna look. Okay, so my phone says I've done 7,174 steps today.
I had some crazy amount of steps, but that was only when I was in like Wildwood, New Jersey, and we were walking the boardwalk like all day. I don't normally walk that much when I'm home.
No, the thing is, I do have a daily set thing. I rarely hit it unless if I'm doing a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, mine's like 10,000 steps.
Yeah, well, what I put my sort of goal at on my phone, because you just change it or whatever, it's 4,000, but I typically only get maybe 900. It's just, you know, it depends on how much I do in a day.
When me and Jess used to actually go for a walk every day on purpose, we used to hit it like every day, if not well over it, but we haven't been doing that because A, Jess hasn't felt good, B, we've been too busy at work, a bunch of things.
Alright, it's cleaner.
Get it out of the camera shot.
Yeah.
I love that when you're like you see like on Twitter and different things, and you have these people that are supposed to be like social media whatever, whether it's adult industry or non-adult industry, and they're like, pay me money to whatever, and then you look in the background of their shots, and they didn't even take the time to make sure that because wherever you're filming is your stage.
Oh, absolutely.
And making sure that your stage is presentable. It doesn't matter how good looking or whatever you're doing is, if your background is, if you didn't take a thought in everything.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and that's why, like, normally I prepare, but today I didn't have time.
Normally you're just fine. Like me.
Yeah. There's
clutter here. You can't see it because it's not on camera. There's clutter here.
Okay.
You can't see it because it's not on camera.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like,
there's a
usually
giant pile of laundry behind this sheet. You can't see that because I put this sheet up to block the rest of the room. You know.
With when I do the spot, like the live streams in my spot, like, it's typically when I do it over there, there's a lot that's like all over the place.
Just off camera.
Exactly.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. And I make it as presentable as I can, but you know, and then I just, you know, finally cared enough to move that stuff, because now you just see the CBD for my cat and taillights.
I wasn't picking on you.
I know you weren't. I know.
But no, it is true. But like, you get these people that you know, I guess mainly it is adult industry, but you know, where they're like, you know, pay me money for these, and you look at it, it's like, you didn't even take the time to actually, you know, you just no. It's like when you see like Facebook Marketplace stuff, right? They want you to pay this amount of money, whether it's like at cost of something that you would buy in a store or something near that, and then you don't even take the time to present it. You know.
Oh, I see it all the time, and I see like terrible ads written all the time, especially for vehicles. That drives me nuts. Of where, there's a vehicle that somebody's selling. Now, I can understand if you don't really know much about it. That's fine. There's a lot of vehicles I sell that I don't know a ton about either, but I say what I know.
You gotta give them the details of what it is and what's wrong with it, because that's information that the buyer needs.
Well, exactly. Like the 77 Nova that I'm selling, and I discovered, sadly, it has subframe rot, like they all do. Sadly.
Mine doesn't. Neither of mine actually have subframe rot.
Well, yeah, majority of them do.
Rotted.
Yeah, exactly. This one, it's amazing. The rest of the body, other than the 1/4, which the 1/4 isn't really that bad, is mid.
But let me tell you something. Those subframes are really easy to swap out. I'd rather buy a car with a subframe rot than buy a car with body rot.
Oh yeah, like in this car, honestly, it's a nice car. The interior's all there. It's a very complete car. It's just the only unfortunate part is, well, you can't drive it home because the inline six has a hole the size of my fist in it.
It's a project car.
And yeah, exactly. Nobody's gonna keep that inline six in it anyways. They would just swap it out, so it doesn't matter.
A year.
Oh, exactly. But you know what I mean, like exactly. But most people are not gonna care. Motor's blown up. Oh well, I'm gonna swap a 350 in it anyway. It doesn't matter. But
that's not what you hear today. You don't hear people say, "I'm gonna swap a 350 in it."
It's an LS. Yeah.
They're gonna drop, and they don't even drop. Like a 350 is a 5.7. They don't even drop a 350, and they drop a 3.8 or something like that in them. And I'm like, whatever happened to muscle cars having cubic inches? I mean, like, not that liters are. I'm not saying that liters and cubic inches. I'm just saying like a 350 is 5.7 liters. Most LSs are smaller than that. They're like 305s or whatever. And the thing is even the coveted like 6.0, it's still only a 383.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Like it's kind of sad that way. Do I need to move stuff out of your way so you can lay down there, Cat? There you go.
At least you're considerate.
There.
Cat is surrounded by cats.
Yeah. There we go. Put that out there. There. You can't see it. There.
Yep. Good. Exactly. It's out of frame. But yeah, like, and that's one of the things that I was like, when they were talking about, I should LS swap the Nova or whatever. That's all well and good, but I still want at least something with a decent cubic inch. So like the least I want to do is a 6.0. It's either a 6.0 or if I can find something bigger.
Yeah, like because the thing is, the ones that you see in, like, for example, the earlier Denali, the really badass Denalis, right? That slightly earlier ones.
With the LQ4?
Is you could get the 6.2s in those, right?
Oh.
But
that's still that's not even a 400 yet, is it? No, because a 400 is a 6.6.
Yeah, you are right. Like a 6.2 is only 390, I think, but something like that.
The funny thing is like the Dodge Challengers that are out now. One of the first couple of gens, they were a 392.
Yep. Well, actually, they still make that. The 6.4 is a 392. Yeah. And actually, Jesse just said to swap in the new Ford 7.3. That motor is badass. It really is.
I'm not putting a Ford in my Chevy. No.
Oh, come on! You could be like that one guy on Pastime that had it was a 3rd-gen Camaro or 2nd-gen Camaro, I should say.
With a diesel engine in it.
No, he had a Ford.
That was a Chevelle with a diesel engine in it.
This was a Camaro. It was late 70s, potentially early 80s, right? It was just that body style. I can't remember. This was Pastime back in the day. It had a 460 in it. So weird.
Well, I mean,
it's like, why would you do that?
As far as cubic inches wise, my Trans Am's got the 400 in it.
but a 460 Ford.
Yeah,
That's what I'm getting at.
That's what he had.
Well, and even like he had the snorkel hood scoop, and he had a Ford badge on it. Like that was freaking hilarious when I saw this. Like,
well, I mean, and
it's usually the other way around.
Like against it because like it's just a 6. Just Coyote swapped his '67 Camaro. You have
interesting.
You have the Hellcat Miata. You have there's actually a bunch of Hellcat swapped vehicles.
Yeah, see, like the thing is, it's not okay. It's not as taboo, like for people, right? When it's something that that isn't American and didn't have a V8 in it, right? That's not as taboo if you do something totally weird like that. Like Hellcat swapping that Miata, for example. That was one of those where that's just kind of badass.
Funny
like
thing
nobody cared.
Here's a little story with that one. Okay, so the dude that Hellcat swapped that Miata, okay, it was forget what it was, Kit something or whatever was his channel. I also watched the channel that did the burnt Hellcat. Name is fleeting me at the moment, but he completely restored a completely burnt down Hellcat. It was caught in a barn fire, and it was completely melted. There was not much left of that. The funny thing is, okay, back when that guy was Hellcat swapping the Miata, the body that he got that Hellcat out of went to helping to fix the burnt Hellcat. Okay, now that Hellcat Miata has it has changed hands a few times, but the funny thing is, the guy who originally restored the burnt Hellcat now has the Hellcat Miata and is now actually doing the Hellcat Miata the right way. I mean, it was originally done just to get to Cletus and Cars. That was what it was. Yeah. That's what he was doing. That was his plan. Let me throw this thing in here and get it to Cletus and Cars. So it was rushed. Corners were cut, different other things.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But what surprised me is because it went to Barrett Jackson, if you remember that, and it only sold for $15,000. We're just like, that motor is worth more than that.
Well, and it's because it was done pretty. It was done pretty poorly. But again, it wasn't intended to be a whatever. It was a wrecked Hellcat, a wrecked Hellcat. So he didn't pay a whole lot. He sold the body to the guy that redid the burnt Hellcat. And the funny thing is that guy now has that Hellcat too. The Hellcat engine that was originally in the body that saved his burnt Hellcat. So he's got that whole car to a point, which is really funny to me. But it's just something I thought was absolutely hilarious that he ended up with this car anyway. Because I remember the episode where he went down to go pick up the body from this, because they ripped the engine out of it and the body was wrecked. But he didn't need what he needed was more of the floor, because he replaced the upper panels. He needed a good floor. But anyway, so it was funny that he now has ended up with both parts of that car again.
Yeah, that is funny. And actually, something, because when I was visiting Teen Mechanic, he said he was actually potentially interested in popping up in the actual live stream like we are right now, right? And I just told him, well, just message you because he knows you. You're over there.
Either wherever.
Yeah,
I'm everywhere.
You're that way on the screen.
Yeah, pretty much. You mind?
But yeah, and
wrong ear.
But yeah, and I just told him just to do that, and if he does message you, cool, because he does feel bad actually when he jumps in the live streams and just like eats up the chat and just like, we don't mind.
No,
you do
because
that.
It keeps my chat active.
Exactly. I tell him this, and he's just like,
"Oh, but
they're
keeping me entertained."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because
I'm not constantly talking back and forth in the chat, but it's not like I'm not reading it.
No, like right now it's just 3 people are watching, which is me, Jesse, and Pilot.
Probably.
So, yeah.
So, I mean,
and what was weird actually, have you ever come across this where doing the live streams, because my last one that I did this, it didn't actually tell you how many people were watching?
sometimes.
Yeah, okay. Because like I was like doing
But
this.
it's not always
I know
perfectly accurate either.
that's true, but like I know there was at least 4 people watching at this point because this was like towards the beginning of the live stream. And the thing is, I know there was 4 people because they all commented at basically the same time. It's like, okay, you're in here obviously, and watching. But yeah, and it still said 0 for like 10 minutes. It's just like,
Right.
okay, that was weird.
It's not always up to the minute. And the thing that you're seeing up in the top corner is actually from Streamlabs, not YouTube itself. It's asking YouTube, like it's talking to YouTube to find out how many people are watching, but that's a Streamlabs.
Oh no, I'm not looking at Streamlabs. I'm looking at YouTube saying that.
Oh, YouTube itself.
Yeah, because I don't stream through StreamYard. I just do it straight through YouTube. And
I don't stream through StreamYard either.
Oh well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I did a little test of it, and I couldn't really figure it out myself. So I said, "Nah, screw it. I'm just gonna do it through YouTube."
I mean, I've obviously moved on to more complicated things, but yeah, I have no problem helping. I helped Grant and Jason get off the ground when they started doing their live stream.
Yeah, I'll definitely be contacting you about that. Yeah, I will be definitely talking to you about that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Now, what I do with the Streamlabs is a little more complicated. But
yeah, I'm sure, because like I went to their website. I tried to do it, but then I realized, wait, I need my computer here, and the problem is my computer isn't here to make this work better. So I just said, screw it.
I've done that too when I've been out of not home and needed to do the live, and that's when you'll see there's nothing. Then I actually do go live from StreamYard or directly from YouTube itself. But that's when there's nothing fancy on my screen. That's why, because I'm not at my computer.
Okay, that's fair. Like, with mine, because unfortunately, when I did the Lumina reveal, saying, "Hey, look, this is the new kind of project," I know nobody really cared, but because it's a Chevy Lumina 4-door, it's not exactly
when
that.
I was younger, the Corsica too.
Oh, I mean, like, it is actually kind of a cool car, and being that it's the Euro, right? So it's got that little ducktail spoiler on the back, and it has some options in it.
Those because they were trying to be trendy.
Yeah, it is a cool car, like in its own degree, but most. It's just a bench seat, to be honest. That's
right, but is it like plushy? Does it have like an extra cushy to it, or is it really basic?
It's a little more basic, to be honest. Like, it is very still cushy, but like it's kind of funny though with that car. You can tell nobody has sat in the passenger seat or the rear seats because they're like really nice. It's only been somebody in the driver's seat because the driver's seat's like, oh, this is very warm. Like, just it's super springy, right?
All the other seats are really nice, but the driver's seat is a little warm.
Yeah, and it's just kind of funny that way because this is a 4-door family car. You'd expect, hey, the other seats to have a lot more.
That was the basic car from the early 90s.
Oh yeah, they were, and they were everywhere. But now, that's the first one I've seen that says a sedan and not a Z34 in years. Literally.
Yeah, see up here we would have seen more of those than the Z34s. They're Z24s, weren't they?
No, 34. Because that had 3.4s in them.
That's right. The Cavaliers were the 24s.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
You would have seen more of those and less of the Z34s around here.
Well, see, when new, that was the case up here too. But now all the sedans have just kind of either rotted away or crashed or whatever happened to them, right? It's just mild out type idea. So you never see them. And I still haven't seen another one. I keep finding coupes I never find a sedan. So it might actually make it when I put it on the market. I might get what I actually asked for, which might shock me.
Do you know what I seen? Do you know what I see around here right now that is so like they're everywhere, and you were like, why? Because they were never around anywhere when they were new. The Oldsmobile. I think it's the Buick Sentries. I think from like the late '90s or early '90s, like when they started going to a more rounded style.
Oh yeah, that was late '90s. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen, and they're always like gold or like a dark green.
That was. I swear to God, they only gave in those two colors. Like I know they didn't. You could get a black one because I've seen a black one, but and I've seen
all
white
the ones
ones.
that I've seen laying around right now are like gold or like dark green because that's the ones that the old people bought, and they stayed in their freaking garage, and now they're either dead or selling their vehicles, and some bum buys them up because nobody else wants them, and they're everywhere. So yeah, they're hitting the roads now because the people that would used to own them no longer have them, and the second owner or third owner now has them, and is driving the crap out of them as a beater.
Yeah, oh, exactly. You know, and it's kind of interesting that way, and that it's devolved in that because back in the day, that was a really high end, nice car.
Do you know what I seen as a beater? A freaking Lincoln. Somebody was driving a late 80s, early 90s Lincoln that somebody had in their freaking garage and freaking pampered every day, and now it's a beater.
Yep. Oh, exactly. And it happens that way. Like, what's interesting is, well, Teen Mechanics Eldorado, right? It's a 72, really cool car, honestly. With the 500. 500.
Oh, I hate you. I had one of those. Nice, it was actually my end table for a few years because I had nowhere else to store it, so I had to disguise that it was in my apartment. So I put a glass tabletop between the valley covers, and it was an end table.
Nice. Very actually, and this one, it runs pretty good, but it does have an issue like where it just pops a little bit. I'm pretty sure it's either going to be timing or the carburetor, and I think it's the carburetor.
Do not ever rev that engine. Tell him don't ever try to rev that engine past like $4,000.
Oh, I know. They max out like 4,500 anyway. Yeah. So.
Well, until if he wants to play with that engine, he needs to look up either CAD 500 on the internets, not Facebook, but internets, because this company's old, or MTS, which is Maximum Torque Specialist. They deal specifically with the big block caddies. And
I told him. Oh yeah, like he's not looking. Yeah, he's not making he's not looking to make this thing a supercar or anything like that. Like he just wants to drive it mostly, just make it a little more drivable. And all I told him to do, because it's got a quadrijet on it, they're a decent car, but he's rebuilt it I think twice.
Drop an Edelbrock on it.
And I told him to put an 800 CFM Edelbrock, and it'll probably run way better.
850 CFM Edelbrock will be just perfect for that engine. The next thing he should also do is pop them valve covers, go to MTS, like I said, and go buy a shaft rocker system for it so that the top end doesn't decide to walk away, because that's what they do. The rockers just decide to walk right off of their little pedestals. And he does those two things and change the intake.
Yeah.
Get rid of that sunken intake. And you might have to put a little bit of a cow induction hood on the whatever, but you get rid of the sunken intake. You put an Edelbrock on it. You get rid of the freaking crappy pedestal rocker whatever things. If he's really feeling daring, a little bit of a heavier valve spring. And those things will make 500 to 600 horsepower.
Easy. Oh yeah, and on a stupid amount of torque. Honestly, because I drove the car just around the block, and honestly, I love it.
I was going to drop one of those engines in my Nova. That's why I had that engine.
Oh, that would have been cool. Actually,
I lost it in the storage unit.
do you mean? Oh, just deferred on payments or what?
No. This is most of the people that have been on my channel a long time. This was an X battle. My ex has cost me a lot of things in the 3 times that we tried to have our relationship, and I've had to start over every single time when we left, when we split ways.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, I'm still digging myself out of the hole the last time that we split up, and that was in 2014.
Yeah, see, like a 500 caddy would have been interesting.
Oh, it was, and the thing is I had the whole block was deburred, so like I went over the whole inside of the block, got rid of all of the casting burrs, so that the oil can get back down to the, it was bored out. It had the shaft rocker systems in it. It had the heavy duty springs in it. I had a cam for it. We were looking into stroking it by shoving a Ford crank in it.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, we had it was a different crank, different connecting rods, and Chevy and different piston. No, the same pistons. But would have stroked it out. And we were looking at trying to make 800 horsepower with it and over 1,000 foot-pounds of torque on pump gas. It would have been cool, but
that would have been.
Yeah, no, I lost the engine, and I had a turbo 400, long shaft, that went with it, and it came out of I'm not sure if it was a Fleetwood or an Eldorado. But it was a 73 Caddy 500.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, the thing is, and what's interesting about them, because I mean, being the Eldorado's a front wheel drive, is because I don't know if you've ever seen under the hood of an Eldorado with the 500 Caddy in it.
With a transaxle?
Look. Yeah, well, what's so weird is how far up the motor is pushed. It's usually pushed back. It's pushed up because that's where the axle is. Because it's directly over top of the axle. That's why they have such good traction. And because you got this motor that weighs probably about 1,000 pounds.
Then I'm thinking this engine came out of a Fleetwood. Then I know that it was rear-wheel drive and it had the turbo 400 with a long shaft in it.
Oh yeah, that would be probably DeVille or something like that.
Not a DeVille. DeVille's were too small.
Well, you could get a 500 at a DeVille. I've seen it.
Yeah, but I'm saying to have the long shaft turbo 400.
Oh, maybe not. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
You would not have much of a drive shaft left. Because that long shaft turbo 400 was a good 3.5, 4 feet long.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
It has an extra 6 to 8 inches on a regular turbo 400.
Yeah, no, that does make sense. Yeah, it would have been. I mean, unless it was a sedan DeVille.
I don't know. I just know that the car met its end. The car that this engine came out of met its end on a telephone pole, and then the car and engine sat behind somebody's house for a few years, and then they pulled the engine, and it still sat for a few years. And then I got it. When I got it, it had cherry seeds all over the top of it. Like I don't know if they were cherry seeds, but they were little tiny round things, and they would split open. But they were just sprinkled all over the top of this engine like peppercorns. But yeah, I completely disassembled it. We shaved the heads. We decked the heads and the block. Like I said, cleaned up everything. I ported both the heads, and port matched them to the intake. I did a lot of work to that thing. So, and then it probably ended up in a scrapyard because somebody who got that shed probably had no idea what they were looking at.
Yeah, it is very sad. And actually, because Pilot said he had a 500 in his 76 Eldorado, and it was a very smooth motor, which I know Cadillac motors are silky smooth.
They are.
But I didn't I didn't realize how smooth they were until I, saw this engine running. And I'm going, wait, it's running? Holy crap! Because it runs just about as smooth as my inline six does.
Yeah,
which is
it
doesn't
move very much.
Wow. No, it doesn't. It was amazing because I'm so used to, and I mentioned that in my video.
And the thing is
like
even his 71 is underpowered compared to what that engine could make. Because in in the late 60s, those engines were making 200 to 300 more horsepower than they were by the time the early 70s hit.
Yeah, they were, honestly, and because all I told him, just because he just wants to drive it, is just swap it to the Edelbrock, 800, 850, and you'd be fine.
850 is what you need for that.
Yeah, and he'd be just fine with that, and you can pick up those carburetors. Yeah, they can be a little pricey, but they're not too terrible. And I just told him,
for that being a stock engine, that carburetor normally does not go on a stock engine. That carburetor is normally designed. It is normally, because of the fact it's meant for. I shouldn't say it's meant for. A lot of people use those on a smaller engine that is pushing way more horsepower.
Oh yeah, exactly. But it's just the raw cubic inches. You just need.
Yeah, it needs that much air. It needs to be able to breathe.
Exactly. He does that, and I think he'd be fine. Because the Quadrajet, and the Quadrajets actually are a decent car, but it's always hit and miss. It's either you're gonna get a good one or you're gonna get a lemon. Right? It seems like that way. And no matter what you do to that carburetor, it'll either run really good or really bad, but it doesn't matter what you do to it. It just depends on the carburetor. It's I swear, no other carburetor on the planet is like that other than a Quadrajet, I swear.
Well,
because
the Quadrajet,
most carburetors,
the
most of the carburetors that you see, okay, you can fix them if they're crap, and it's fine. You can replace everything inside and it works. But with a Quadrajet, for some reason, I don't understand why, you can replace everything inside and it'll still not run quite correctly. And it doesn't matter what you do.
They need more, you need to replace the brass bushings. There's a lot of things that you need to do to a Quadrajet because when the parts wear, they let in air. And so the carburetor itself becomes a vacuum leak.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking is probably happening with his, because the thing is, because it runs pretty good, but like I said, it just pops a little here and there, within the cycles.
The thing is when Quadrajets and Edelbrock's Quadrajets, Rochesters, when they run nice, when you get them nice, they run so much better than a Carter or a Holly. Especially on GM products. I'm not saying that they run better on Fords, because those were Chevy designed those engines to run with a spread bore carburetor, whereas a Holly in them, they're a square bore. They don't run as well on a GM product unless you're just going for wide open throttle down the drag strip. That's a different story. But for street driving, a Rochester or a Quadrajet or a Edelbrock, which is basically one of those anyway, just a high performance version, they run so much better on a GM product.
Well, and also, they were more designed for the GMs, it seems like, too, comparatively to anything else. And that's why, for example, a Ford, you typically don't run an Edelbrock, you run Holly, because
it's a square bore.
Runs exactly. It just it's like that Holly I have out there, right? That I'm giving away, which I tried to share that. Oddly enough, it was in that group for days, and I finally got rid of it because it was the live stream that I did on the carburetor, and just saying, hey, my next giveaway is this cool Holly carburetor. It's an old one. It's in really good shape, actually. Somebody could easily just get a rebuild kit, go through it, replace gaskets, whatever it needs to be replaced, and it'd be a good carburetor because it's that clean inside.
That's why my Quadrajet for my Trans Am is still sitting. Actually, it is still sitting in the basement of my old house because there was no point in me for what I needed to do with that. it wasn't the right carburetor for that engine anymore. It's a stock carburetor. The engine is modified, and that carburetor needs a full rebuild, which is you need a drill press and some other things to be able to do those right. Because if you try to drill out where the butterfly shafts go, and they're not perfectly straight, you're going to have issues. You're going to have those air leaks, like I told you, or it's going to cause binding. That was the slowest climb down I've ever seen out of a cat.
Yeah, he will do that when he's just wanting attention. Hey, you, because you're normally just a bit of a. I'm not gonna say the word because.
And I literally waited for Holly to come out with a spread bore EFI system, because most of them have all been square bore.
Yeah.
Phytech, Holly's one that they've had. I think even the Fast EFI, they were all square bore. So I was looking for a Quadrajet style EFI system, and Holly finally came out with one. That's why I went with it.
See, and Jesse, reading that, and also welcome back, Rockabilly, because he's back now.
Yeah, I see.
Because he said, he had got a Holly truck with his carb with his truck, but it's missing a float and some bolts, and he doesn't think it's worth rebuilding.
Yes, it is.
It depends how to me, it depends how old the Holly is. If it's a 60s one, absolutely. If it's an 80s one, no.
Well, I mean,
because
Hollys are so easy to work on, and there are parts for them everywhere. I mean, you don't have to be a super carb guy to be able to understand how a Holly goes together. Quadrajets are a little more difficult, and I think that's why people are afraid of them. They don't know how to adjust them, but when you get them adjusted, they work so much better. But no, I mean, that is a big carburetor. But then again, yeah, I don't know if Hollys are different, because like I said, I know CFMs compared to
even a 750 on a 302, that seems a bit much. Like usually you're running for a built 302 around 650. So that's a bit interesting.
And for a Quadrajet, 650 would be decent for a 350. The 300 for the 600 would be for a more mild 350 or like a 327. Like for the carburetor for my Trans Am, it needs like an 800.
Well, yeah, it makes sense. Like that Holly out there. Now, what's interesting is because I looked up the numbers. Like I look up the numbers on it, and it doesn't give me an exact year. It gives me a year range. It gives me a range of what motors would have been if it's going to be put on. I don't know why it doesn't actually give me the exact year. It's kind of weird.
They used it for several. That's why.
Yeah, well, they did. Like, this is a proper Holly carburetor off of a 67 to 69 Ford, and it's a 600 CFM, and could be anywhere between 302, 351, or a 428, or a 390. We just don't know. So, a little rich. Well,
that's why you're running rich there. It runs great. It's running rich because the freaking carburetor is too big for that engine. I wouldn't run anything, even if that engine has a cam in it. I don't think I'd run anything bigger than a 650 on it.
Yeah, and to be honest, that's about the max you can typically do, unless if it's like a fully built motor.
Right. That's why he's running rich. Even if he were to try to jet that down, he would just end up running it lean before it would run right.
Yeah, and I mean, and to be honest, like, because the thing is, and it is fun to do that, but it's also kind of hurting your car too.
What, running it lean or running it too rich?
Too rich.
Either one is bad. Yeah. Leaning is worse than rich. I mean, rich is safe. You're not going to hurt the engine. You're just wasting a lot of fuel.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If it runs rich like my Mustang did, it can totally kill that motor, because that's exactly what happened in that one. Because what happened was, now that was injection, but the CFI system, and I'm pretty sure it was the
probably washed out the cylinder walls.
It's exactly what it did. It dumped too much fuel in, which
carburetor
running rich.
Wiped the oil out of the cylinders, caused it to freaking have excess cylinder wall wear. It'll also get gas down in the oil, and then you're gonna end up breaking down the oil.
Yep, it got gas in the oil. That's how I knew this motor done. At that point, like, it still ran, and I was surprised it did, because
the other thing you can do, you can foul out spark
it.
plugs. You can cause them to have too much soot buildup on the back of the valves. There's a lot of things that you can happen with running rich, but running rich is safer than running lean. You will kill an engine faster by running lean than you will ever. You can run an engine for years running it rich. But it only takes once running it too lean, and it goes boom.
I wouldn't exactly say that a Cleveland is better than a Windsor.
They're about the same.
But the Clevelands, the thing is with them, they have a better opportunity to create more power than the Windsor block did. However,
they made
the heads were also bigger.
Yeah, they made power differently.
They really did, and the heads on a Cleveland are much bigger than they are on a Windsor.
It depends on what you want to use the application for, really. Because isn't a Windsor better for towing and low and high torque, versus a Cleveland is better for horsepower?
No, other way around. Cleveland is more of a torquer motor compared to the Windsor that's more horsepower. But you can build a Cleveland, like my buddy, he's building. Actually, he's got it built now. He just needs to put it in his Fox body, just waiting for him to do it. It's a 351 in Cleveland. It's completely built out. It's making like over 600 horsepower, but it's making probably closer to 700 or 800 foot-pounds of torque, which is really impressive. Because and with the 351 Windsor as well, 351s can hold more power than a 302. Because the 302 doesn't matter. That block's gonna crack at about 500 horsepower, just about every time.
The Pontiac ones.
Yeah. So.
Rock, I think you're gonna have. I mean, you're compensating instead of fixing. Yeah. Honestly, I think you're compensating for more than what it would be. Just stick the right carburetor on that engine. Just go with a 300 or a 350, and I mean not 300, a 600 or a 650. And I think you'll find that the engine, I mean, granted, I'm not saying it doesn't run great now, but I think that you will, make a little more horsepower.
Yeah.
You will spend less money on gas. And I think you will realize you won't need as much stuff to make that thing happy. You shouldn't need a fuel pressure regulator with a carburetor.
No, you really shouldn't. And you can put a 750 on that and make it run really good, but you're damn near maxed out for the power of that block before you crack it when you have a 750 on it. Like, if you were running 490 horsepower to the crank, yeah, okay, 750 actually would be fine. But you're probably not, I'm assuming, because I don't know your engine exactly what's been done to it, but typically 302s are only running anywhere between 3 or 350 when they're built, right? It's just how they are. It takes a lot of money to build them out completely without going forced induction.
Jesse's saying his Bronco 2 he's got bad miles per gallon. It might be. I would start first with checking plugs, wires.
Yeah, well, actually, it's running a little rich as well, and it can idle at a low idle. So what you need to do, I think, is adjust your carburetor more, because that honestly just sounds like you could potentially. Now, I might be wrong, but it sounds like you could just adjust the idle screw and also lean it out a little bit, and you should be
all replaced.
But
then you might need to tune that carb, or the carb might be tuned like Rockabilly's problem, where they tried to tune down a carb that is too big.
Yeah.
Or the jets might be wrong. It could be a few. Things.
He adjusted it with a vacuum gauge, but something I've learned though, like vacuum gauge, it does actually work.
It gets you to a point.
Yeah, And you guys see to a point, but what you need to do, and this is how I adjusted my carburetor. Now, my carburetor's out of whack now because my choke is all screwed. But the thing is all I did was, okay, I turned the screw a little bit, took it down the highway, right? Just took it down the highway, went to the gas station I know is down the highway, see, okay, is this thing still running really rich? Yeah, okay, lean it out a little bit more, right? And go back, It's really easy, and it's a 2150. Okay, I know those carburetors actually. I have a 2100 in my shed. It's the same carb. Just a little
saying that the 302 is making 600 horsepower at the wheels, or it doesn't know what it's making at the wheels, but it was making 600 on a dyno.
Yeah, at the crank. That's amazing that block hasn't cracked, because they usually do at 500. Being a 302. That's impressive. I'm not gonna lie, and that's held up for as long as it has.
Yeah, because you're right on the limits.
Well, you're over the limit. You're over the limit by about 100 horsepower. Now, mind you, something that'll help you as well is if you're not running slicks and down the drag strip.
Hold on, Jesse. You don't tune a carburetor to run good at idle. You tune a carburetor to run good at the RPM that you choose to run at. A carburetor does not adjust pertaining to what RPM you're at per se. Unlike EFI, where you can tune it for every RPM range, when you tune a carburetor, you need to tune it so it runs good at the general RPM that you tend to run the engine at. So yes, because it runs good at idle, it's going to run like shit when you're on it. Because you've tuned it to run good at idle.
That's right. What you? So wait, that motor makes 592 at the crank, but it also had a 200 shot of NOS on top of that?
I'm thinking he said it had a 200 shot of NOS on, and that's why it made it 600.
Oh, okay. No. If that's what he means, then okay.
It might be a 400 horsepower motor.
Yeah, with a 200 shot, or used to have a 200 shot. And if so, then you can kind of get away with that because you're only doing it in short spurts. Because people do that with those 302s and they do hold up. But it's only if you do it in short spurts, like in a quarter mile. Because if you try and do that just all the time, they'll break pretty quick. So you do have to be.
Every time you do it, even on the racetrack, you're obviously.
Oh yeah, it's a ticking time bomb. It's just wet.
It's gonna last longer because you're doing it intermittently versus whatever. But every time you do it, you're shortening the life of that engine.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the 302 I'm putting in my car, it's got aluminum heads, it's got an Edelbrock Performer intake, Demon carb on it.
Cast iron block though?
Yeah, it is. It's got a Moroso oil pan on it, sealed power pistons. It does have a cam, but I don't know what it is. It's not super aggressive or anything. And this motor might only be making 3.25, 350, maybe. And it's only because of those heads. If it didn't have the heads, I'd be probably 280-ish.
It's the only reason the Nova was peppy was because I had smaller combustion chamber heads on it and with big intake valves. But you get it up in the RPMs and it would die because the exhaust valves were too small. It was just fun. It was fun off the line.
Oh, okay. So that was because the block was used. So that that's the horsepower it has now. That's 600 to the crank without the nitrous. How the heck has that thing not blown up? That's amazing. You have one of the best built 302s ever if it's not cracking that block.
Right.
Seriously, well, actually, question. What year is the block? Because that'll make a big difference too.
This is an earlier block.
Because if it's a Fox body block, yeah, no. There's no way that thing should have survived. If it's like a 60s block, it could actually survive that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can be on here for a little bit longer, but I gotta get off soon because I gotta get up in the morning.
No worries. If you need to jump off at any point, it's totally fine.
I will not just like randomly poof off.
Well, I know you're not gonna do that, but yeah, I'm just saying when you need to, it's not the end of the world. I could fall asleep right now. It's totally okay.
Well, I still have to make my 2 clients have their annual physicals tomorrow, and I have to do all the freaking pre-paperwork that the doctor has to fill out before I can go to bed.
Oh, you don't know what year the block is? Okay.
I don't know. A 90s
and
HO
actually,
block?
Well, that's not his right now. That was another motor, right? But like, and the thing is, you can, because the thing is, the Fox body blocks, again, they crack damn near every time at 500. As soon as you hit 500, just like, nope, done, right? And it's just how they work, unfortunately. But the earlier blocks, you can push them to about 657, and they were fine. But yeah. And actually, yeah, adjusting your carburetor properly would be great. Like, just play around, like, because I don't know what you have your idle set to. Like, your idle should probably be, depending on, different factors.
Go pick yourself up an air fuel gauge.
Yeah, that'll help too.
Run it like an O2 sensor. I mean, it's basically what it is. It's an old school O2 sensor. And you just run it downstream in your exhaust, and then it'll let you know when you're running rich, when you're running lean. You use that along with a vacuum gauge, and you should be able to tune your engine.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the easiest way to do it, because I just do it to where I just turn the screw a little bit, drive it down the road. Yeah, it feels.
Anybody who's tuned a carburetor for a long time can normally, between that and timing, you normally know what it needs to feel like. But somebody that doesn't know what that feeling is and hasn't experienced it yet, you need something to let you know what you're seeing.
Yeah. Okay. So you have it. Yeah, that's way too low. Because like the thing is, and also remember, when you're tuning a carburetor, don't tune it when it's like, depending on if it's a manual or automatic. I'm assuming it might be, if it's an automatic, make sure it's in gear. Because your RPM drops, right?
Yep, you gotta put a load
exactly.
on the engine.
Yep.
Well,
so and then your RPM drops by about 200.
Get yourself a Chilton's or an actual service manual for that vehicle, not a Haynes, or there was a couple other ones that were kind of like Haynes. You need to find yourself one that actually is a little more detailed. The Haynes, I mean, the modern Chiltons are crap because they got bought out by Haynes. But you got to find yourself an old school Chiltons because they were more like a shop manual. Or find yourself a shop manual. Sometimes you can find PDFs of them online. They will literally talk you through the settings you need to do to set the timing and the carb.
Yeah. Oh. Crap. Stupid thing. My cat. There we go. That's better.
Yeah, because I have the full shop manual, the manufacturer's service book that the dealerships would get. I have one of those on PDF for my Dodge. It's really helpful today trying to find a reverse lights signal source inside the cab, because most of it is all outside the cab for reverse lights.
Yeah, like with my car, because it is kind of funny how we, and I will like actually do a full in-depth video of how we did that, because that was it screwballed together absolutely. Like, I may redo it properly, but unfortunately it started pouring rain on both me and Roy, so we kind of had to screwball it together, right? Because this kit, it was not well made, but the instructions weren't well written out. That's the problem with it.
You were figuring your way through it.
Basically, yeah. We just, figure it out on the fly. And the thing is, because we tried to figure out, okay, how are we supposed to mount this inside of the, because he had to cut open the taillight, right? And put the LED boards inside and figure out, okay, how are we going to mount this? What we actually did was, because the butyl rubber that we used for resealing the light, we just used that on the board and attached it to the lens, right? That was fine. That's actually a way to do it, and it's not the end of the world. But the screwball thing that we did, because normally you'd use something just to make sure that it doesn't shake apart or anything like that, as like a high-density foam. We didn't really have that. We had the next best thing, though, which is packing peanuts. So my taillights are full of packing peanuts.
Oh.
Yeah, they work. Because it reduces the shock in there, right?
Isn't that the whole point of a packing peanut?
Exactly. So and that's what I had here.
Heat in that situation, but then the LEDs get hot, but I don't know if they get that hot.
No, they don't get near that hot. Nowhere near. You can, there's an LED bulb in this light. I can go touch that bulb right now and it won't burn you. So you're fine. Like, it's not really that hot at all. So I'm not worried about that. It will be yeah.
I need that AOL dial-up sound, because that's what your brain was just doing.
Yeah, exactly. And now I don't even remember what I was gonna say. I'm at that point. Like, oh my god. Yeah.
I think it is about that time. So, Pilot just reminded me that it is now 8:30. We'll catch you guys next week. Hopefully, I don't have any idea whether or not next week is going to be an issue. I'm planning on it not being an issue, but you never know with my work right now and it being stupid. So,
fair.
I will tentatively catch you for next week, 9 o'clock, and see if we can get our numbers back to where they used to be before my work got in the way. We did a pretty good show. We averaged about four viewers this whole live stream. We had up to 8.
Well, hey, fingers crossed for that, because that'd be cool to get the back up to 12, 14.
About right. We
there you go.
Viewers at one time. We have 8 likes.
Oh, mine says 9. So
9 viewers total, or 9 likes?
No, 9 likes.
Oh, I'm looking at my YouTube studio right here, and it says 8.
Oh, well, I've noticed that studio isn't always 100% accurate. It's kind of weird that way.
I can only go what I have, so.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, looking at my analytics for right now, it says whatever. It says we have 5 viewers, 2 chat rate, 91 playbacks, average watch time 8 minutes and 46 seconds.
There you go.
So that's for all the people. That lowers because of all the people that pop in and leave.
That's true. And yeah, good night, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night, or fall asleep. Either way.
Go watch Cat's channel.
Yes.
All right. See you later.
See ya.